Welcome back to another episode of Bulletproof Mindset, Scotland's #1 health, fitness and entertainment podcast. Today's guest episode for you guys is Scott title taker Allan. Now, I don't even know where to start with this one. Scott is a boxer. He is a former kickboxing world champion. He is the co-founder of Rivals Martial Arts. He has a marketing agency. He's got a lot of things going on, as well as being a great father and husband. He's got a lot going on, and it was great to sit down with him today. Now, this for sure will be a part 1 and part 2 interview series, because as we got 2 hours and 10 minutes in, we didn't even scratch the surface of Scott's story. But for now, enjoy part 1 of today's episode. Before we get into today's episode, if you're new around here, I release an episode every Monday and Thursday at 6 a.m. I've done this for the last almost 2 years now, and I plan to do it for the next 2 years. So that's when you can expect episodes. Every Thursday is going to be a guest episode, and every Monday is me diving into the deeper topics that is health, fitness, and just what's going on in the fitness space. So if you are new around here and you enjoy today's conversation, one of the best ways to support me is completely free to do, and that is leaving a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're choosing to listen to this. Make sure you share this episode on your social media. Tag us at Coach Crossar or at Bulletproof Mindset __. And if you want to keep up to date on what Scott's doing, I'm going to leave his social media below. And without further ado, let's get into today's episode. You're a very unique guy. And it's funny, like, I think I've told the story in the podcast that anytime I phone you up, nighttime, daytime, whatever time of the day, no matter what's happening in your life, how's it going, Scott? Your answer to that is fucking brilliant. And I love that. I've said it so many times in the podcast, so it's great to actually get you on and actually get stuck into your story. So go way back. So you're a father, brother, son, you run the Rivals Martial Arts, you get the marketing side of things, you do a lot, right?
Aye.
Let's take it way back to the start, right? So, because I think, were you always driven for a young age?
Always.
Were you?
Always.
For like early in?
Driven from money perspective.
Why do you think that is? Because your mum and dad, you've got a really solid relationship from what it looks like from the outside in.
It is. Like, without my mum and dad, like, I wouldn't be where we are currently. Both me and my brother Sam, like, we wouldn't be where we're at. A very, very young age. Like, my dad was always up and out working, 9 to 9. Half the time I didn't see him. I seen him at the weekends occasionally when we went to, like, that's my memory of it. I asked my dad, and he says, no, I was running about all the time. I said, well, I fucking didn't see that. Like, but in that, like, I was always driven. Just through life in general. Like, my dad bought his first house at 22 and I had to beat him. And get 21. And I did. I bought my first house at 21-year-old, right? And it's also competition. But my dad's the only person in my life that always appreciates me doing better. And I don't see it.
Was he pushing you for that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's like the story, we'll get into the stories of what happened with the gym and how it started and stuff like that. And it was my mum and dad essentially being the driving factor of me and Sam's success. Like, and we have been very successful across multiple things, and like, we're big on changing people's lives through the martial arts, and it's like it's fucking amazing. Like, I genuinely love my life, and there's nothing.
You're truly fulfilled. We've had great sessions, like, and just talking about it, it's like, oh man, life is good.
It is.
You need to appreciate it.
It is.
So we'll come full circle with this and kind of bring you on to where you're at. But so I take it you went into some sort of karate, martial arts when you were younger?
Kickboxing originally, and it was in Allan Welfare Hall. I started at a 4-year-old. Sam, I wasn't going to get bullied. I was very small, like, I'm 5 foot fuck all now, like, but still, I'm still 5 foot 5.5. By the way, I don't think I'm 5 foot, you cunts.
More there, actually.
And that half-inch counts. If anyone says it doesn't, it fucking does. And my mum and dad just got us into it to stop me being bullied, and Sam was shy and timid, and he was a wee fat kid, so it was essentially,
is he?
Aye, like, see if you go back, like, Sam's pictures, like, there was a time we went to Florida as a family, and all I wanted to be was like my dad and my brother, and they both were fat, no fat by any means, but like overweight, and all I wanted to be was like fat and overweight, and like one of them caricature pictures, and I'm fat and I'm fucking delighted.
Oh, so you this like your dream ambition then?
Aye.
It's crazy into what your environment can create.
Aye, I was only like 6 or something like that, then I quickly realised that's
insane. So you go in at 4 years old, then when does it become really competitive for you?
I started competing at, I think it was 5 or 6. So like all my life.
Aye.
Like there's
What was the drive for that? Was that did you just have a natural shine to it?
I just enjoyed it. Like I literally enjoyed it. And inside the welfare hall we were training. We were actually trained by 2 females originally, Angie and Jill. Still speak with Jill like anytime I see her. Like,
They still going?
No, I've not seen them.
That's a shame.
Aye, but they've been involved in it like as long as I've known. I literally for there twice a week out in Church Hall. Then went to Angie done our gym in Bells Hill. Again, it was a church hall. Like it was nothing spectacular on what it is. We competing out of Scotland. I went to my first World Championships. I was 10. It was in Italy, Tuscany, 2002. And I was essentially 10-year-old, and I'd beat quarter-final, semi-final, got to the final, and the boy I was fighting in the final was a Canadian, and we at the time only thought it was 1 round. My dad was in my corner, who had never done martial arts like that before in his life.
Just hype me up.
Angie, my coach, I think she was actually competing. I think she was fighting at the same time, and then we only thought it was 1 round, so I gave it a run for round, and after that I was fucked, right? And it wasn't. It was
the bell went again. You know what was happening.
I think we can give him that half and that, and the boys like, we're going again. I says, oh, you're joking me. I mean, I was exhausted, and I lost the fight. And then in 2003, I had then done we went to the World Championships with Ireland in 2003, and I fought the same guy in the final. And my dad always said to us, he says that the feeling that you're feeling right now, like after I was a bad loser, like getting that chucked off and gloves and that, fucking this is brutal, I'm not doing this again, like really bad. And my dad had said to us, you see that feeling you're feeling right now, bottle that up, right, and look it away, and you never want to open that bottle again. Of that feeling of pure doubt, regret,
hatred,
judgment, hatred, no want anything.
What was it like when you lost the fight then? So before we jump ahead to, so I'm assuming you beat him. I thought you would have. So what was that your first like major loss?
No,
or you had a couple.
No, because
you're only 10 as well. Like
in the competition scene, like when you're at the time, wasn't fighting in the ring. It was only match sports essentially, like points and late continuous, and it was with the points and late continuous scene. It's like 1 round, 2 rounds. So I was fighting. Some days you were fighting like 10 and 15 times in a day back then, and it was height. So I was always getting led up at the start of fighting because it was doing like it was you lined up my wall essentially at the competition, right?
Oh, did they?
There's a split in this and back.
So weight didn't matter at all?
No, weight did not matter at all. Right? So it was height, so it was like on your lines, right? And they must have looked at it and said, right, there's 30 that side, 30 that side. Split in the middle. Yous are small, yous are tall. So I was like way down the pecking order. I was like massive. At the same time I was in the same sections as Sam, so age didn't really matter. Right? It was like, I think it started off like under 11, like so you're fighting under 11s and then over 11 for the kids and then adults, and it wasn't even originally when I was doing the competitions, it wasn't even mats on, it was taping the wooden flare.
Oh, so it was a proper hard hit.
Proper, aye.
That's insane.
So we fought literally over Scotland, and again, that's doing it my mum and dad for doing all that travelling ways, like to and from all over Scotland. Like you might not think that's a big deal now, but that's probably what's built me into the character that I am of.
Oh, for sure. Like
never wanted to achieve.
Did your mum and dad get any background in any sports or martial arts? No. So this was the first time for them seeing their kids go through it.
Essentially, aye.
So Sam, how old is Sam? Older than you?
20 months older than me, or 22.
Right, so
22,
just shy of 2 years. 2 years. So 2 young boys, relatively close in age, and you've both done pretty well. It sounds like you both had a shine to it. So that's quite good. They gave you the support to like let that foster. So when you lost, like working up to like the championship side of things, and you lost that, what was that like then for you? I've
actually got the video. I need to get it downloaded and stick on social media. Like the video of me after it, I'm cringing even thinking about this. Like I'm throwing gloves at referees and all that.
You tell me it was 1 round.
My dad's holding me all that, and like I was distraught. Like I never wanted to feel like that again. Like, and that was like the highlight of it. If you wanted, it was like I'm world champion. Like here we go and that, and
you got right to it. It's like scratching the surface.
Dreams just get crushed. I'm oh man, and then, but at that time, you're 10, 11, like, nobody really could touch us in Scotland. It then became a weight thing by that time. It wasn't a height type stuff, it was a weight type thing, and there was nobody in Scotland that a weight class that could match us, essentially.
So it was all your fights then international?
Aye, like from that, aye. Don't get me wrong, we fought loads in Scotland, or the same in Britain, and again, at that time, maybe a couple of years after that, my dad would sit in the computer and literally a Friday night, hey boys, we've got a competition down in Birmingham tomorrow, you want to go? And he was like, aye, let's go. Nottingham tomorrow, you want to go? Aye. And like, it was always my dad that had arranged all the fights and that, so it wasn't like the coaches that were there. Normally now in this day and age, no father in the Rivals brand is setting any fight for any of my students. They're no doing it.
Because you're
I'm the head figure at all means. Sam is the head figure of everything. So if anything's going through, it's going through us. By all means, they can speak to us. Listen, something's come up. What do you think? And we'll say aye or no type stuff. But it's never happened in all the years that we've had it, because that's the precedents that we've set. Anyway, back to the story. So it was, and it was anywhere in the UK, we would just travel and go. Like, the phone would come up and we built a good name for ourselves. So the phone would go on Thursday and a Friday night, like, there's a British title fight down south, like, Scott wanted it. And my dad, without even hesitation, aye, he'll take it, aye. no, but I've got planned tomorrow. Like, obviously, it was at that age, my dad knows, but like, it was a fight tomorrow down in Birmingham. You up for it? So aye, I'm up for it.
So is this happening for the age of 5 all the way up to,
no.
when was it, what age are you then?
That started after.
It's about high school time?
Aye, yeah, 12, 13-ish. When that boy beat us at Nicholas Merlin was his name. Still social media friends and that with him, right? All the he beat us in Ireland. Sorry, he beat me on Italy in the final. Then Ireland was the year after, and so building up, I won again. I won a quarterfinals, semi-finals, final, and when we fought each other the year before with the WK, you seed it because you were in the final of the championships the year before.
What does that mean, seeded?
See if there's a bye, you will get it.
Right.
But you are in the split end of the draw, so you don't face until the final.
Right, okay, aye, so then they know, they make sure it's an actual
so if
fair
they
fight.
made the final, like, they are going to be in bottom second tap section, because this is going to be potential
that they face off together.
Final. Aye, again, and that was it. Now, in Italy, there was like loads of mats going at the same time and box rings, and
it looks chaotic, I must admit. I seen like Nathan's fight with Nathan next door with Kyle and that, and I'm watching like the videos and I'm like, that looks mental. There's a lot going on.
Aye, at competitions it was like
crazy.
Aye. No, what the WK done this year in Ireland, it was the best year for me ever. Like, I'll never ever forget it. They had one stage, like they had 2 rooms, one room for mat fighting and one room for the ring sports, and it was like on
the mat fighting, like jiu-jitsu and that sort of stuff.
Aye, well, mat fighting, I like continuous and points type fighting on the mats, just fighting on the mats. But they created the stage, and it was like in a mid-velodrome, so everybody was looking out and they were looking down on this mat, so there was like, there wasn't like multiple areas running at the same time, it was one area.
So is this the first time it felt like a ring fight?
Aye, it was like, this was...
There's a crowd, everybody's watching.
Aye, you've got the podium right next to it, so right after you finish your fight, you're right on the podium, so it was like, the pressure was like massive. And after the fight, we both got to the final. Inside, it was points, which is tig. I was never great at points, but the 2's managed to make the final in the points. He beat me in the final of the points, and you see my dad in the corner, like going like that, say, "Oh fuck, the gloves are coming off." Fuck. But I shook it off, probably because of the crowd and what was there. I shook it off, and the final was scheduled for 40 minutes later. And I walked up to my dad and said, "That's all right, we'll get him in 40 minutes."
Aye, we confident?
Got to batter him.
How many years between this was it?
I won.
Was it 1 year?
I was 11 then. I was
10 to 11.
Italy in 2002 and Ireland in 2003, and that was that. And again, 40 minutes because back, but before that, like Michael Page, you've seen him in
Heard that name.
Michael Venom Page. He's like a massive in Bellator and UFC type now.
Oh right, aye.
He had said to me before it, like, we're great friends with him growing up and stuff like that, and he said before it, says, he was a bit older than me, he said, "Scott, what I want you to do is, before your final, there's my room key, go and get a wee sleep and put the heat down and get ready for your final." And I was chuffed to bits, like, this cunt's what I gave me room to sleep in, like, you know, it was like an idol at the time, like, it was like, smashing everything, and it was brilliant. So then he beat us in the point fight, and then it was like continuous 40 minutes later, and I just barred him, barred him, and what a see a feeling standing on that first podium with the Flora of Scotland blaring and everybody singing, and the thing with, you know what it's like in Scotland, we're
very patriotic.
We're very patriotic. It's like everybody's singing the Flora of Scotland, and it's
doesn't matter what's happening.
It's just a vibe, man. It was class.
So is this the first feeling of like
success?
Like pure success.
Like success.
It's easy going through this at 11 years old, mate. I mean, what was that, like 10, 11 years old? I was balancing a divorce. Like my mum and dad are splitting. I was going between. All I cared about was Xbox and stuff like that. And you're building like some really important life lessons at this point, man.
They had done, like, they made that big thing in Scotland. Like the Daily Record was out, the Sun. I was in like national headlines. I get on STV News at 11. Scotland's youngest world champion at anything. It's like fucking hell. Like,
do you know what I love about you? No matter what I was going to say, what I love about you is that no matter what happens, like you normally, like, Scottish people get put into an environment and it's like English or it's like national, and they put on this like posh accent. You're like to your core this Allan boy with
I'm a scheme boy.
The scheme accent and stuff like that right at the start.
Scheme boy, it's done all right for yourself. Like, and I'm not going to go back to like. No, I'm probably, we'll jump on a wee bit, and I'm in a finance position now where I could afford to put my kids into private school, but I'm not going to fucking private school. Like, I've turned out really well. Like, not going to private school. Me and Sam spoke about this, sending kids to private school. Says, for what? Like, we're brought up scheme ways. Fuck that, man. Bring in the scheme, man. Let's
buying a house purposely, deep in the heart.
Exactly, man. Buying the scheme. I don't know the houses in the scheme. I mean, the fucking fancy mansions and fucking Beverly Hills. Give me the scheme houses, man.
That's crazy. So 11 years old, you get this title, and I think you dominated the sport pretty much at your. Did that then become weight classes?
Weight classes. So that was 11. That was me in under 25 kilogram division. That was
25
kilogram, minus 25 kilograms.
Oh my God.
The year after that, I must have took a stitch, because the year after that, it was in Switzerland in 2004.
3 feet to 4 feet. Is that something like that?
I went to 35 kilograms, right? And
that's insane. I suppose you're a kid. I'm thinking
I know,
you're
you've been through it. I know. And then for there, Canada in 2005, 2000. It was every year after that. I won some, I lost some. 2007, I think we then went to the Ring Sports World Championships, where it was solely just ring sports,
right.
Like, which is.
What's the difference then? So, like, how is that from a competing standpoint? Does that change much at all?
You can knock them out and stuff like that, and there's no warnings for contact, and there's nothing like that. It's like, you're just, it's a scrap, it's a proper fighting. But at the same time, like, so at 11 then, my dad's went and got me and Sam into boxing. The only reason I started boxing was to improve my hands for kickboxing. That was it. It was my dream was always to be a professional kickboxer. Always. Never. The dream was never to own gym or like multiple now. It was about the professional kickboxer.
Do you think you were like attracted to the fame with it, the status, or the feeling of like being the best at something?
Being the best at something.
Like mastery they talk about.
Aye. Now, I'd switched to professional boxing after winning, going through the ranks, solely for money and fame. That was it. Then I quickly realised there's no fucking money in it, and the fame's fucking hard to get by. So, fuck's sake, what do I do now? Like,
what's money like in kickboxing then? Like, because I think people don't realise that, like, from obviously as the competitions get more, or like it becomes a higher status. There's more work went into the prep, the camp, and all that sort of stuff. A lot of time, energy, and effort for what? Like, what's the bag at this?
Like, so
a tub of protein powder.
Essentially, fast forward multiple years now. Like, as an amateur, like this in the full contact scene, like that's on the mats and stuff. Like, it's hard to quantify how many fights I had. Like, see if I said 1,000. Like, I wouldn't be shocked. See if I said 2,000, I still wouldn't be shocked. 2,000 fights, but what you need to remember is some days you're fighting like 10 and 15 times, and I'm fighting like loads of competitions over Britain all the time.
You're just going getting the reps in.
Like, it was like, so, and you're fighting 2 and 3 divisions at one competition multiple times, so it won't be that, but it's like one round, so it's no, you can't really count one round as being a fight.
Aye.
When we started fighting the full contact scene, you're in 3 rounds of fight. Any competition, like it's 3 rounds, it's no. So if you've got 16-year division, you're 3 rounds, 4, you're 16 to 8 to 442. So you're fighting 12 rounds to get the win in the competition, which is so much more rewarding than fighting the points and like continuous scene.
I was going to say, I guess a big part of that, to your point, was you won some, you lost some, and it's decided on 1 round or 2 rounds, whereas you get more rounds to pull it back and really kind of calm your nerves and all that sort of stuff.
This day and age now, like there's multiple organisations and stuff like that in kickboxing, and it's saturated essentially.
Do you think that's why it's maybe not?
Yep.
It's popular.
There's too many people wanting the clout for the fame and what comes with the fame is the money on I'm the best organisation in the kickboxing scene, so I'm going to be charging more, all my titles are more valuable, and then Joe Bloggs down the street thinks he can set up his organisation, and like it's oversaturated, and that's why it'll never be a Olympic recognised sport, I think. Essentially, it's more exciting for me than boxing, as much as I'm a professional boxer still to this day. Like it's
why?
I just
I like kicking heats.
Opinion, like there's nothing more exciting than watching someone getting smashed with a shin kick to the face when you go down the pro scene, because there's, again, with that, there's loads of different styles. So you've got point fighting, which is you hit, point, stop, like 1 point at the side. Then you've got like continuous, which is just continuously fighting until the referee says break, stop, or whatever. Then you've got low kick, which is kicks to the legs, body and head. Then you've got full contact rules. That was my preference. Kicks above the waist and literally.
It's like there's no rules on it. Like technically.
Then you've got K1, which is low kicks and knees, knee, head, and body, depending on your amateur, professional status or whatever. And then you've got Muay Thai, which is clinching knees, elbows. So there's so many factors of. You get glory rules. It's.
How come you never went down the route of like the Muay Thai stuff? Because did you?
I say I did. Mistakenly, I did. We went down for the British Championships for the kickboxing, full contact British Championships kickboxing. My dad was kind of like overseeing Scotland at this point. Right? I would have been 14 or 15. We were doing the day before to win and stuff like that. And it was a Thai boxing championships. I said, "Should I do it?" I says, "Aye, fuck it.
Fighting's fighting."
Aye. First thing I say is, "A punch a punch and kick's a kick." What? This is not bad. You can knee in this. I says, "Aye, I've got knees in that." See how I go, right? And there was 6 in the division, and I jumped in. So I had because there was no seeds in that then, and I had the semi-final essentially there, and I battered the boy. I think he was scared. He knew who I was, and I think he was.
Had a wee bit of status behind you, and all that.
Aye,
you get in his head.
Like so, I let at him, and in the final, I fought a guy that apparently had like hundreds of Muay Thai fights, like loads of them, and he fought from Julie Kitchen's gym, which is she herself is like well established Muay Thai, like well established. And again, he must have known who he was. Like first round, I'll never forget. Like Bob Taggart was the referee, and the first fight, the boy didn't get hold of me, and I didn't know that you could clinch somebody and ragdoll him and throw a knee, and I didn't know that. And this boy's grabbed me and twisted me knee, and I said, "What? I'm fucking on this. I didn't know what to do." I said, "Ref, this guy's fucking." He says, "Scott, that's allowed." I says, "Fuck." I'm like, "This is brilliant. Have a shot at that." And in the second round, the Julie Kitchen shouted in the corner, "Come on, don't be feared just because you know who he is. Get into him." I says, "Come on, let's fucking go, my man. Let's go." And eventually, I won the fight, and I was British Muay Thai champion.
That's crazy.
Muay Thai in my life. After that, we got to the World Championships in WK the following year, and it was K1, which same as Muay Thai, but it's single hand and strike. You can't hold and clinch knee. One strike, release your knee and release. And I won essentially the K1, which K1's like your televised stuff, like your Glory and One FC, like that's just it's exciting. The low kicks, the knees, it's bare shins, any time that your full contact rules, you're wearing min boots, long trousers. Shinnies are optional on professional level, but you still need to wear your trousers and boots. But the K1 is just main exciting, essentially.
Aye.
And that's it. So in that like I cleaned up in the K1 and Sam had done the same, and it was like we were just
dominating the sport, like, didn't it? Yeah. Do you think this was, from your point of view, do you think this is because you were like lean and because at weight classes and stuff like that, like you spent your whole life in this weight category, and guys try to get down to that weight category is like a whole kettle of fish. People think, I can cut weight fine, and then realise there's no power behind their punches or kicks or that.
There's a proper science behind it, like a proper science behind it. And if you don't know, you get loads of guys that don't know what they're doing when it comes to weight cuts and stuff like that, and they'll be sitting like, they'll try and cut like 5 and 6 kilograms a day, the weigh-ins and stuff like that, and they've no done it before, they've not done it properly, and
don't know how their body will respond physically, emotionally, so much.
And you go there and then you're just drained, the body's knocked out. Well, you see why. And then it's a hydration. Like, people just think like water hydrates you, like water's phenomenal, hydrates you, but salt. Like, look at electrolytes, where's your salt? No table salt. Like, every morning I wake up in the morning, like, this might sound a bit mental, right? First thing I do is brush my teeth, go down the stair, open my cupboard, Celtic sea salt. I literally take a horn, stick it in my mouth.
Best thing to do.
Crunch it around about my mouth, let it sit for a few minutes, dissolve, drink of water, bump, before I have my coffee. Then it's double espresso, then salt with electrolytes. Like that.
It's insane, isn't it? The amount of clients I've had that are like, I've got sore heads, I don't feel like I've got a good amount of energy, and I'm like, right, it's going to sound crazy, I want you to take a pinch of Himalayan salt, right? See what it does. I'm like, oh my God, I've not got a sore head anymore. And it's like, I'm seen as this like God almost. It's like, how this is magic. This is genuinely, you're a wizard.
my wife all the time gets sore heads, and she knows what's coming, and every time she says to me, I've got a sore head, and she mumbles, have you tried any salt this morning?
Because she knows it's coming. So there's tons of directions we can go in terms of the fighting scene. What I want to talk about first is, what was your character like out with fighting? What was school like for you? Because I'd imagine there's a lot of confidence, there's a lot of arrogance that comes with that, because you're dominating a sport. What was that like to be in a typical school in North Lanarkshire?
It was a cunt.
What school did you go to?
I went to Allan Primary, but it was a very small primary.
Tiny.
Then I went to Collyhead High, which is in Shotts, no far. But before that, we'd been cutting round about at that area and stuff like that. And essentially, my brother was up; he was 2 years above me at school, so I was going to school with the persona of my big brother's at school. I'm all right, essentially. And I was in the press before it, the news, literally before high school. I was all the news in the papers, and like, I actually laugh. My best pal now, like Gavin, his dad had said he done a bit of karate. He now essentially works for us and runs one of my facilities, which is phenomenal. Like, the fact that my best pal was like 11-year-old, it's come right with me. Like, 31 awesome. Now for the past 20 years, and now he's on a decent wage doing what he now loves. Mm-hmm. And his dad was like, "Oh, you've got a competition here, this wee guy's world champion and all that." And he's laughing my crying. I'm the man. Like, so it was. Never forget the first day at school, at high school. It was, who's the man? Like, and that's just what it is. Who's the hardest in your year?
Were you in a lot of fights?
No.
Did that not really happen?
Didn't happen. No. Maybe that didn't happen because my brother was 2 years older than us,
right.
And he was.
Did he go through it?
No.
Interesting.
Similar to him, there was a guy in his year, Judo Dan. Like, so
Judo Dan.
It was Stuart was the judo man, and Sam was the kickboxing and boxing man. It was like, who's the hardest in their year? But they never actually came to heads. They ended up being friends in that, and it was just.
It's always like a like unwritten rule of respect anyway, because you know what it takes to go through that. It's the wee dafty who's never been in a fight, and that's like, that's where you probably lose your respect for.
No, there was one or two altercations in high school, like, and that was it. Like, and there was.
What were you like academically?
Shite.
With teachers in trouble, or was it? Did you just not fit into
fair, because like, no, my exam results were decent.
Was that influenced with mum and dad?
Aye. I get when I was at school, it was intermediate 1 and 2, and then some standard grades. I get 3 A's, 2 B's, a 1, 2, and a 3. I got an A in maths, And this is brilliant. Like, the only reason I got an A in maths is because I fancied my teacher.
It's crazy what you can do to a young guy. I won't disappoint you.
Schooling, mate, I know. I tell everybody this story about fancying my teacher and that, right? And me and it was my fiance at the time, was going for a photo shoot with Amelia at the photographers. That's my last born daughter. And we're walking to the photographers, and as I'm walking in, I cross paths with my old school teacher. I've seen him wish he bounced in a few times, but never. I just waved across the road and that, and I banged into her, and I'm talking away, and Kerry's went to the photographer's office, and she says, I spoke to her for a wee bit and that, and she says, who's that? How do you know her? And I just looked at her straight and I says, that's my maths teacher. No, and you fancied her? I says, aye, I fancied her in school.
A proper crush on it.
Obviously, she's a bit older than that now. She wasn't. She didn't look how she looked. And
when you're a wee guy, it's different. It's different.
I know.
That's life hitting you, man. That's life hitting you. So school itself, then, as you're going through that, you got your first gym.
Aye.
When does that come up?
That comes up. Well,
is that's during high school? Am I right in saying that?
Yep. Now, so we started, and it was your mains above the old spa.
I remember it. Yeah.
Just spitting sawdust gym. Like, this is parents have influenced me. I reiterate all this podcast on what it is, and like my dad then sat us down, and now at the point we're getting to the point now, fighting full contact and still training in a church hall, going to the box gym a couple of days a week, right? And that was our first initial things of punching a bag and whatnot and stuff. So at the time we're coming up then against guys that are training in these full-time facilities,
coaching,
and come up short all the time, like come up short on the mats and stuff like that, and like 12, 13, 14, coming up short essentially, because 14 we started fighting full contact, and then I think it was 14 that my dad had initially got to the gym. My dad had a wee flat. My dad had a wee flat and Craig Nuke, like essentially a scatter flat, like, and it got some equity in the flat, and he had sold his flat to invest in a gym for us. Like,
I think your dad was recognising that, like, kind of looking about, because is there been anything in around Wishaw area? No.
And
that was it. Was like the wee kind of taekwondo classes and
your church halls, which is still, they're still ongoing now. Like, but the difference of where they're at to where we're at to where the next level's at is like you need to have facilities to train in. Like, you can do so much with a set of pads and a wee area, but there's so much stuff going on. Like,
exactly.
Advancing sport is crazy. Like,
well, the thing as well is like the business side of things, and I think this is quite interesting how that's evolved with yourself. So your dad gets this unit in your mains. I remember it well because I went to Coltness, and I didn't know much about the fight scene, but it was when I went to college. I think Sam was in the year above me at college, or the year in front of me at college, and folk were saying, "Oh, he can fight like fucking like now," just how you would when you're a wee guy.
That's just a persona.
I know.
Like, he can fight like fuck, but because he goes to a boxing gym and he owns a gym and that, like, he can fight like fuck.
So that was the first time I heard it, and then for the outside looking, and I actually remember because it's probably the arrogance and ignorance that we all have as people when we see them. It's like, it just looks like a wee fanny. Doesn't look quite what's he doing? And that was like a persona I had of you up until
everybody
a couple of years ago.
Has got the same persona. He is a wee dick. Like, no, you're laughing. Like, no, my pro boxing trainer to this day, Ped Lynch, right? At the time, I gave my dad an influence on this as well. Like, I was looking at like it, and he said to Ped, says, "Would you come and see my boy?" And Ped's like, "Oh fuck, I don't know if I can be fucked." He is a wee arsehole. Like, on the outside, like, probably because of arrogance and the cockiness and the person that
you're portraying online.
Social media portrays who I am as a person. Like, until you sit down with me, you think, this guy's doing earth. Like, he's no wee dick. Like, what the fuck are they cunts saying?
Do you think you were a wee dick back in the day?
Probably.
Aye.
Call it how it is, probably. On arrogance. Arrogance and cockiness on. So you get that vibe, wee prick.
And but see saying that, it's probably, you would expect it from, because you're doing a lot of great things, isn't it? And it's like, you meet somebody that's the same age and you're like, what? All you've done is play Xbox That's insane. You're dominating up and down the UK.
Essentially that, aye. It's we've achieved so much in my short life so far. Like, so again back, so my dad had this gym. We had always wanted to have something. We were coming up short against all these guys that have full-time facilities. My dad looked at it and he says, what is the difference? I fought a German kid on the mats, 2000 and they're fighting in Canada, or was it Switzerland? Fought him in Switzerland. I think it was 2006. Olsmere, his name was Franz Joseph Olsmere. Right, he now essentially runs a gym in Germany. Awesome. Which is really cool actually. But it beat me in the mats in the final. And the next skiing year, he didn't just beat me, he fucking leathered me.
What does it look like from a skill perspective? Like, what is it? Endurance? Is it strength? Is it speed? Like, is it just skill or like?
See, when it's on the mats, it's a sprint, because it's 1 and 2 rounds. You've got 2 or 4 minutes to. So it sounds like they had a lot of speed and power then over that. Essentially, you're not getting that in a Churchill gym then. No. Did you ever do any strength and conditioning at this point? No. Right. None.
Like, so is this where it started changing?
Aye. So what's the difference to him to you now? And I looked into who he was, what he done, and he's training a full-time facility. It's like, my boys to stand a chance at a better level, they need to be training in a facility. So he set a house. He only had one at a time. Like, he set that flat to invest in us in the gym. And literally at that, it's like, growing up, Sam, believe it or not, Sam was the arsehole Wayne for the 2 years. Like,
was he?
Aye, he was. Like, he was always into like the
oldest, isn't it?
Aye, and he was going out the weekend drinking and doing all mad stuff, and I wanted to train, and I was in the boxing on Friday night, and Sam was out getting mad at his pals, which is funny. Like, now, like, looking at, you'd never think that. And Sam, like, the stories I can tell, like, my gran did not believe my best man speech at Sam's wedding. She thought everything I made up was a lie. It was the fucking truth.
We demon child.
Aye, it really was. Like, he was. So my dad essentially got to the gym, and then Sam had left school to work in the gym. And I just sat my exams in 4th year, and this is hilarious. Sam was going to his work in the morning, sleeping in and whatnot, and like they had
button heads.
A debate, let's say, a debate that led to Sam being out a job right in the gym.
Is that why you went to college?
Aye. Then I had to step in, leave school, and go to a job in the gym. And then,
did you know you wanted to do that?
Aye, at that point, like, I always wanted to be the
kickboxing champion. Did you start boxing yet? Or do you not start boxing till? I
started fighting 11 or 12 in the boxing gym. My dad grew up around about Charlie Parvin. Charlie Parvin is he's a legend in our area. And once you've heard one of Charlie's stories, you've heard them all. It's so comical, and like, he was a great role model in mine's and Sam's life growing up. Like, it was just the stories I could tell in Charlie. That's a completely different podcast altogether. The man is a legend, and he took me under his wing essentially. And got up through high school. The school were very good with me, like really good with me. They'd seen, I don't know if they'd seen some sort of potential. I don't know if my dad had spoke to them. I don't know, but coming up on bigger fights, like championship title fights at that level, they allowed me to take the first 2 periods off school. My dad said, listen, these boxing trainers, Charlie Parvin, and he only trains during the day, trying to get the best he needs to train with him. And they allowed me to take the first 2 periods off for like 5 and 6 weeks.
That's brilliant. I wonder if much of that goes on this day and age.
I don't know. I don't know. And we had, again, like, so the school let me do that, and fast forward, year down the line, after opening up a few gyms, we went back into our school, and me and Simon spoke about what it is, like, what we done, the school, and I thanked the school for letting us on, and I also explained to the school kids that don't worry too much about your exams. Like, I have still, to this day, in my life, used algebra. Like, you laugh like that.
See, the first time when I was putting those lights up, me and Brian were like, right, we need to work out the distance down the way of the chain, and I was like, fucking hell, I need to work out Pythagoras. I was like, Jesus Christ, you can actually use Pythagoras, so we're doing the math, like make the measurements and that.
That's brilliant. And same when talk to schools, listen, don't worry too much about the exams. What you're going to do in your life won't really affect school. I don't think they were too keen on that part of the, which you understand for a schooling system. The schooling system's fucked. It's teaching people to be factory workers, which is...
Yeah, but I think at the same time, like, for them to get more funding and to get more better grades coming out the kids, more teachers coming in, and like, it's like a catch-22.
It is. Like, and the teachers don't agree. Like, well, I don't agree with the teachers are coaching to my kids. Like, and then you homeschool your wains and that's a whole other shit.
I know, it's crazy. Right, so you open up your gym. What's the game plan with it? Like, is your dad kind of taking the reins of this?
Essentially,
and you're just going, right, I'm just going to get better at fighting.
That was it. Like, so then we're doing really well.
Like, so what happens? Like, gym's open, it's a space, you get some mats in. It's obviously the spit and sawdust type of gym, but you're going in. Are you coaching at this point? Like, how do you start getting clients come in? Essentially,
what had happened, Angie, at the time as a kickboxing coach, she was renting the church hall and the welfare hall in Billshill and Allan, and my dad said, well, why not just you keep your class on, pay us the rent, and you'll get access to the full gym. And that was what was agreed. She then kind of fell away from it. The mayor, me and Sam stepped up to it, so we were coaching the kids, and then essentially it was stepped away completely. I don't know if it was a phased thing, and I can't mind, but it was just like, that's
natural progression.
Literally natural progression. I mean, Sam had took over the gym and like started coaching, essentially. Like, we knew fuck all about business, we knew nothing. Like, it was literally...
Where did the name Rivals come from?
Like, we sat down and discussed that, and it was the first thing that I'd said. Like, the very first thing I said, he says, what's talking about my name? First thing, think, Rivals. Like, he says, oh, I was like, what else? Is because we've got to be that good that everybody's going to rival us and they're wanting to beat us. That's it. I actually, see, just talking about that, that's funny because Sam just sent me an email. We run a program essentially in the gym, and on the instructor training program to get people enrolled on what is it we do. Like, they know, like, and trust us. The boat in phase, and Sam's telling the story of
where the name came from.
And that was the last email yesterday morning. It was where the name come from. It was Rivals. Like, Sam left school and it was Rivals, and that was it. And the graphics designer to design all the logos in the back of my hoodie, and it was that
was it.
Lime Rampant Scotland flag. It was still patriotic as fuck. Lime Rampant, Sarah boxing gloves on, and Scotland flag in the background, and it was
awesome.
Essentially, that's where it came from.
And then, so the evolution of that gym, how long did you have that place for before you got the place in Wishaw?
Oh, I think it would have been about 10 years. Aye.
So I think this is important for people here, because people are going to see your...
2007, 2008 we had that. And then we'd outgrown it in a sense. My dad had bought like weights type stuff as well, and with a wee sauna and that in the place. Like, it was a spit and sawdust gym, like proper spit and sawdust gym.
So much piled into it though.
Aye. It made like no heating, like not the radiators were capped or the gas. Probably didn't pay the gas bill, and the gas has got that. He's on this toasty. The gas bill's off by the way. And then it was no heating, so literally. And then Greg Docherty was in a lot of coaching. Greg Docherty was a great coach, and inside the dojo, like, there wasn't a boxing. We moved the stuff around about, and there was probably about 30 or 40 grown ass men inside this. It was 4 metre by 5 or 6 metre. It was a 20 metre high. It was packed. It was absolutely.
This room's like 4x4, so that's crazy.
It was 2 metres longer than that. It was.
Didn't need heating.
See, once you start little shadow box, and that was it. The one these were steamed. It was like, this is like the mirror, water and all that. It was class. And that time we had built a proper fight team that would just travel everywhere and anywhere. But the only issue with that side of it, this is all still in the wee men's gym. The only issue with that is with the fighters, they don't want to pay their way, essentially. And so you had a small group of like 20, you think a small group of 20 fighters. 20 fighters is a decent number, but that was all your members.
Right.
So it was like, we've got an occasional gym member. Where do we scale and grow? And the only way you
so were you letting like the other fighters come in for like free essentially?
They were paying, at the time it was like 25 quid or 30 quid a month to train like in the gym. And that was it.
And they had like full access type of thing.
Aye. And it wasn't even a direct debit, it was a standing order.
Cash in hand.
Aye, direct debit. If you wanted to pay cash, Like, try to keep that. It was mental. And my mum would try to do some books, and like it was, boys, you need to do some here. Your business isn't great. I mean, business is great. Jim's jumping on the fire, loving it.
Aye, so you see from the outside, and I remember pictures. I think one of my mates I used to live with, Tom Byers.
Aye,
I think he went to a couple of like the sparring classes or something. That was the first time I remember seeing fighting. The YMCA used to have a Thai class on in Wishaw. That was the only thing I ever went to, so I didn't know much about it. I remember seeing Tom go to this, and I was like, I was like, fucking hell, they're packed.
Aye.
So outside looking in, you think this business is booming.
Outside in, like outside businesses, fucking jumping.
So 10 years, and I think this is like everybody sees the success that you have just now. It's like, oh man, I want to get to your level. It's like, you need to put 15 years worth of work in. When does it start getting? So obviously there's a professional aspiration from a fighting point of view. What does the business side look like at this point?
Disney, for me, like.
Were you fortunate enough that it was your dad that owned the place? The rent side of things was that keeping...
My dad didn't own the place, it means he was renting it.
Oh, renting the place,
renting the place, aye. So it was essentially like, we were scraping ends meet. I was getting 120 quid a week to essentially work in a gym. Like, you think 120 quid a week? For me, at 16, 17, 18, 19, I thought it was great. Like, I'm doing what I love, and I'm getting 120 quid. Like, fast forward, I wouldn't even put that in my more anymore. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, that was it. That was the dream. We were living what we wanted to do. Like,
when does it start getting monotonous?
In what sense?
So you say that, like, you're living your dream, and that spark kind of dies off when, because if money's a constraint constantly, like you said, you wanted to beat your dad and buy your first house. When do you start thinking about money?
All the time. Bit more? All the time. Like, still at the same time, like, I think I still had my paper and I had my milk run. So I was going out in the morning. I didn't tell 2 jobs. I was out delivering the milk, finished the milk, did my papers, then into my bed, up for colours, into the gym. Fucking hell, like, what am I doing? I'm
constantly
so many plates juggling here. Like, even now at 31, I've got multiple plates juggling, but I'm managing it a hell of a lot better. I've systemised my shit.
Oh, you're building resilience at that point as well, like work ethic and
like that. Like, growing up, having a paper on, like, and when I had my first paper on, Matthew Bryce gave me, said, I want a paper on me. Do you want it? I says, aye. And it was 2 paper bags. I was too wee. It was too heavy for me. I was 11, like 25 kilograms. I'm like, fucking hell, he's way with me. And at the time, I'd laugh at this all the time. Like, I'd employed a pal of mine to do the papers with me. This is mental. This is the only thing I say. So he delivered the papers, and on the Thursday I collected the money. Right. And I made that. How that was, my dad said this again. My dad's business acumen. He says, if you're doing that, you're paying your pal, you're paying him 15 quid a week. Right, that's what he was getting paid, 15 quid a week delivering papers. You collect all the money. I said, fuck that. Like, he can do it. I said,
you want to control the money?
Tips. You're getting the tips. I said, no, I ain't giving his tips and that. I said, well, you're the gaffer. Okay, good. You want to give him the tips? Give him the tips. I end up like, so he was 15 quid for his side. I was getting 16 quid to my side. I was doing more than I was collecting the tips. So it was brilliant. Like, so that was, and then getting down to the gym, it was paper run, milk run, paper run, gym. Like, so the money was always a thing. Always wanted money. Then it came out that we moved into the other gym, and it came about that it was lying empty. It was Old Wizzy's Castle in Wishaw. When the gym wasn't doing too well, it was floating by. Like, it was break even.
The gym you mean?
Right. Break even type. But we wanted to grow. We didn't really much. We just thought because we were world champions, everyone wanted to train a world champion. Like, who doesn't want to train a world champion? Like, so naive. Like, now, like, if I knew what I know now back then, like, who knows where it would be? It'd be crazy. You paid advertising, learning how to get your memberships. And
do you think, like, do you kick yourself sometimes and wish that as you grew up and found fighting, you've grew up in an era where social media wasn't, it's evolved?
No.
See if you had to grow up just now. Like, if you look at, like, even look at Nico's fight recently, like, I'm not saying that he doesn't do much in terms of PR stuff, but look how big he's got from these world title fights and all that sort of stuff. Like, so it's more like it creates business in itself.
100% does. Like, no, I don't wish anything that's not happened for what's happened. Like, I believe what's for you is not going to go past you. Like, and I'm a massive believer in your energies and your frequencies, and if you're on the same path and your energy levels is great, like, I'm all for the energies and the persona of people. Like, if you're vibrating at a low frequency, you're getting shit hit with your life. Like, you're anxious, depressed, like, you're worried, you're sick, up your vibration, which is alright for me saying. Like,
it's hard to do it. I just done
I
done the 200 episodes and I done the 12 lessons that I've kind of realised over the last 2 years. And one thing I wrote down was the only thing to make a bad time worse is a negative outlook, because it just amplifies everything. It gives you, it's like fuel to the fire.
So it does. But then you're trying to then coach somebody on how to better their life when they're still in a negative mindset.
Sorry to interrupt this crazy episode with Scott. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Look, really quickly, if you've made it this far, one thing that you can do on Spotify if you're listening is leave a little review. You can leave a 5-star rating. If you want to leave any less than 5 stars, then feel free to do so. But this is the best way you can support the show. It's completely free to do, and it would mean the world to me if you can do this. So if you want to do that now, go ahead and do it. I'll wait. Come on, do it. Click the 3 wee dots. Right, let's get back to the episode.
You can't.
So talk about this from a coaching perspective, because you're doing it for the love of it. There is an art to coaching that you start to learn. Does that just naturally evolve in your mains gym, or does that happen more when you get the gym in Wishaw?
I don't know. I really don't know. Like, if I'm completely honest, I just over time. Over time, I've learned to be resilient, and I'm a great believer in your energies align with what you're doing. Like, so if I'm aligning with a higher frequency and everything in my room is then vibrating at a higher frequency because my energy's spinning off on them, they're getting better naturally, so they're progressing. So like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Who's your role model? So you had, when did Ped come into you? Was that later?
Like,
so like
2 or 3 years ago.
Right, okay.
3 years ago, essentially, in life. Like, first role model, you can't go like past a mother and father. Like, big, massive role models even to this day. Like, that's my hero, essentially. And I know you're saying that, like, I'm 31, your dad's your hero. Fucking hell, like, what the fuck? Like,
so see, when the gym's not doing well and your mum and dad say that to you, did that hit hard then?
No.
Was it just like, fuck it,
we'll get it? We'll alright. We'll make it work. Like, I'll have a fight, I'll pay my rent. Like, what? What the fuck are you doing? Like, Jesus Christ. I went to the, fast forward, we were in the new gym in Wishaw, where at the ceiling in that gym was 86 members, and you think, we thought we were the men with 86 members in the gym.
What was that like from a financial point of view? Like, was this like the first time breaking a figure? Or like,
shite.
Was it?
Like, shite.
Charging buttons?
With the rent in the Wishaw gym in the Wizzy's Castle, we didn't have the money for the building, right? But I went and seen it, it says now, it's 12.5 grand deposit. And we opened the doors essentially to view it, and there's a big massive fucking soft play, like huge. I think, fuck, first thing, Spirals says, I could sell that for 12.5 grand, that's my deposit. That's like, you're only something here by the way, aye. Like, go for it.
Where do you think that part of within you came from? Do you think that's just the hustle for milk run, paper runs?
100%. Like, 100%, like here. Like, there's a coin to be made here. and I'm making the coin with selling that bastard. And that's what we've done. So inside the Wizzy's Castle, the Wizzy's Castle, we hosted and run fight nights. At the time, they were the professional scene and stuff like that. Like, I were well right on, and we had the bar and stuff like that there. And it wasn't a smart business at all. Like, with our profits for the bar takings, that was what was essentially paying the rent, and the martial arts was paying us a smaller wage. Like, which is, listen, it was what it was. Like, it generally was what it was, but the fight nights, the money that was coming from the fight nights was paying our rent, which is mad.
Yeah.
We've done loads of events, that made us money. Like, of course made us money, but it was only going to pay my rent.
Yeah. So it's crazy how that evolves. Did you go to any events and then start to kind of look at the heads and go?
My dad run events in Allan Welfare Hall. Now, this is when we were still in the Welfare Hall, which at the time, that's flattened now, but it was 200 yards from my house. Right. I mean, that literally 200 yards from my house. Right. And we packed, and at the time we were all grown up, Friday night, my dad, the fight night on, and everybody's in with the wee bar and that in the corner, right? And my dad made a couple of quid from these shows, and it was only all me and Sam's and pals, and he'd fighters, Scotland fighting, and my dad was the first person in Scotland to make these fight nights happen. Because we went down to Watford to fight in a fight night, and I thought Sam Leeds, and so this is magic. My dad's obviously clinking, look at all these people with 20 quid a ticket, like,
straight away.
Scotland, and we did, like, we did.
That's crazy. It sounds like it's mad that your dad, through just the love that he has for his kids, is then grew his part of the business, because he's very much involved in the.
Yes, like he now we went to it was Switzerland World Championships, small team. Was it Switzerland? Germany. Talk shit. It was Germany. 2006, 2007, whatever it was. And at the time, Robert Smith was in charge of WK in Scotland, and he had said that everyone was fine and everyone was fine. And this was the flights, when we going? Like, literally, it was 2007 or 8. No, it was 2008, sorry, because it was a small group we took from your mains fighters that went. Right. 2008. And my dad's like, what's the flights, where we're going, what's happening here? And I would say, son, then Robert confessed. My dad paid all the money for everybody. And it was, confessed that I fucked up. I've not booked any flights. I've not paid my sanction fees. I'm in a hard time. My dad says, I don't give a fuck. Like, if you took my boys' money that's looking to compete, they've not missed a world championship since 2002, and they're not starting now because you fucked up. Like, so my dad then paid again for everybody to go. Like, everybody. It was, I think they'd worked out the money with Robert, they was paying him back, and then that's when my dad essentially took over.
He's like, why you should.
As the head of Scotland, started running competitions and done really well out of the kickboxing, only because his boys were good at it. Like, he wanted a driving factor of, I'm not letting anything get
you
away.
want to be in control, I'd imagine, as a father of your son's fate.
So that was essentially it. So it came, essentially everyone's came for my mother and father. Like, and if it's my mother no supporting my father and what he's wanting to do, wouldn't lead us into him supporting us for what we want to do. So it's essentially like my mum being the queen of everything, that, like, even to this day, like, my mum still does all her books, like, and we've said to mum multiple times, she's quite a job, work for us, like, you don't need the money. Like,
what's your mum do?
She's a school teacher. She teaches kids, that an outreach teacher, so she goes into like childcare homes and stuff like that, and teaches the wee arseholes, essentially, if you want to call it that. Like, and
she's like, I raised Sam, I can teach you.
You didn't see my boy growing up at 13 and 14. So that's what she does, and she really enjoys it. Like, and essentially, me and my brother have made my mother financially free. She had some equity in the house, and then all this going down to the old gym, like, we were working to pay the rent, we running shows and stuff like that, and then I had set a car wash up at the front, like, just an entrepreneurial type thing. Like, I was sick of people parking in essentially the back of the gym. So I says, fuck, I took a bank loan out to tar it all, buy a couple of cabins.
How much did it cost?
21 grand.
Right, because you sold this for a pretty penny as well, didn't you?
It's 21 grand, and I bought this car wash, got all the stuff and tarred all the road and all that, and that was fine.
Who was doing the car washes at this point?
At the time, it was myself and Chrissy Weir, right? And then I had Irish J, and I had like loads of people not working for me. There was 2 or 3 that was working with me at the same time, right? And
what does a car wash bring in? Because it always looks like a front for drugs and stuff like that, isn't it?
I was the only cunt and wishy that was trying to be legal in the car wash industry. I spoke with somebody, and I'm not going to name any names, right? But I spoke with somebody, and I said, listen, how the fuck you make money in the car wash? I said, you wash your money? I says,
what do you mean wash?
Wash the fucking motors, you did. What are you talking
start realising there's a bigger...
Then it was like, click, yeah, bastard. Right, so it was making ends meet, essentially, to pay...
all the stuff.
To pay, staff wages, chip into the rent, like, it was making fuck all. Like, so I had that a couple of years, and the loans came down and stuff like that, and I was just wanting rid of it. I was wanting to pay my loan off at the time. Then my loan was like 15 grand at the point, right? And somebody approached me and said, yeah, buy a car wash half your cash. I says, right, no bother begging. I said, no, it was the boy round the corner, the Rani boy round the corner. He says, buy half your 15 grand. No, he says, what kind of number are you looking for? I says, oh, my loan's 15 grand. He says, and I'm saying, we pay £1,000 rent. We don't, it was my rent, but I said that. And he said, okay. And he came in my bag, 15 grand. I says, no fucking way.
Did he?
I run like fuck driving you. I'm getting £1,000 a month after this, can't you? A fucking dancer. And then obviously it wasn't doing the numbers that I said it was doing. Everybody fabricates shit in business, right? And
300 cars a week, easy.
A day, mate, a day. like that, aye.
Yeah.
And he says it was moaning, oh, it's not this, it's not that. I said, well, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, oh, I'm not really wanting this. And that same day, the other boy, the same car wash, had my number, I don't know how. He said, oh, I'll buy the car wash off you. And I'm like, I've already sell this to your pal. I said, 30 grand, it's yours. First number that popped in my head, think, it's yours, you want it? She says, okay, we get a lease in that. No idea, but
at least was
I went to Google and copy a lease and said, there it's there. Like, so I'd sublet it, my subletted car wash to this boy, and he came in and he says, I'll see it. This other boy was moaning, but he's 15 grand this and 15 grand that. And so this boys gave me 30 grand. Literally, in the same instance, I says, there's your money back, there's the keys to your car wash, you see you later, and it's your car wash. I want anything to do with it, and
that was it.
And see it fair, he is now the busiest car wash in Wishy. Years down the line. That's brilliant.
That's what he's been set to do. That's crazy.
So at that point, like, we're going right down.
What age are you at this point?
We're going back now, 21, 22. Aye.
So kind of skipping from the age of like 18 to 21, throughout that year, like when did you have your first kid and all that sort of stuff? When's that happen?
24 or 25.
So that doesn't happen till like later in life. So from getting paid 120 quid a gym shift and then...
No, that was a week.
Aye, a week. A week, sorry. You get to the point where you try and make this a business in Wishaw, so the event seems like the go-to move. And then when do you start building up the members then? When
we got the new gym, essentially.
Right.
Like
the one above Peacocks?
Yeah.
Right.
Our headquarters this day, like, is, let's just take it right back again. As an amateur full contact competitor, I had 48 fights full contact and lost 2. 2 of them were the same guy, the same Russian guy that beat me twice. Sick. First time we thought we won, it was in Italy.
Was that a decision?
Aye, it was Waco. It's only championships I've not won. And the year after that, he didn't just beat me, he fucking leathered me. Oh, right. And it haunted me for...
I was going to say, what was that like from him?
Then that was it. I was 16 then. He was a year older than me, so it was just... Then the year after that, he wasn't competing at the championships. He had turned professional. Won the professional world title with Waco, and my sights were always on him. Always on him. And hosting these fight nights in the gym, like fight for a world title in kickboxing, back then, the purse was £1,000. Right. Do you think you're putting all this graft in for £1,000? Terrible. Like, terrible. So I actually won the professional world title. The first professional fight was away from home, down in England, as a kickboxer, and I fought Mickey Dunford from Newcastle area, battered him 5 rounds, like I battered him. And then I had 2 7-rounders fights, and the opportunity came up for me to fight for a world title. A guy, Stefan Slovaski, he had 105 fights and 102 wins. I was like, Jesus.
It's a good record there.
Current champion, we're fighting him. Fuck it. Bring him out. Fought him in the mega bar. Like, and I had knocked him out in the 3rd round. Like, it's on YouTube, it's brilliant. That was me, essentially.
Was that the one he throws the kick you duck under?
No, that was Levi Lawrence. That was in the old Wizzy's Castle.
I was going to say that.
That was in the Wizzy's Castle. No, so I beat Stefan for the world title. I've then defended it 3 or 4 times. And the Russian boy was always my mind of,
he's beat me.
He's beat me twice. I need to get him. Like, I need to get him. At the time, it was a world champion in his field as an organisation, essentially. And I tried the fuck, and I was saying I was going to do the professional boxing because I knew there was a wee bit more money in that. And Sam's speaking, he's a Chinese Russian, so the translation was really hard. He got in contact with his coach in Russia, tried the visas and that sorted and that, and then the fight was signed May the 25th, and I will never forget that date for as long as I live. Like,
what date did you, so you what age are you when you fight him?
I would have been 21. 21. I was after my 21st. Yep. 20.
So everything's gone well in life, then things are kind of picking up.
Yep.
And then this is like the redemption fight of your
Absolutely.
life.
Like, there was nothing, not stone was left unturned there. Like, only my dream was to beat this kid. See after sunset into retirement essentially, and that's it. Aye, that's it. And 12 rounds. It was a war. Like, I broke my toe. He cracked my rib and he kicked 3 of my teeth out. He hit us with a spinning back kick, and it was a beauty. I think it's on Instagram. He kicked the teeth, and you actually see the teeth coming out like penguin. I'm like, fucking, let's have I'm in the corner with Sam, and I'm spitting teeth out. I say, you alright? I say, I must have kicked my teeth out. Like, fucking 12 rounds, it was a war. Like, but I'd won the titles, and for me that was everything in kickboxing. Everyone had destined to get. That was in the May. I then fought Levi Lawrence in October. That was the one I ducked under his kick. That was just a 10-rounder. Then I fought Jerome Ardizome from France, who was a WKN world champion. Smashed him in the December. Then turned professional boxing and had my debut.
So see the fights after that one, did they feel like, do you still get the same hype from it?
Absolutely.
Or do you? Did that ever die at all?
Nah. Still doesn't die, like, to this day. Nah, it doesn't die at all, but it went from there to nobody going to beat me. I've just beaten this kid for Russia. He's beaten me twice. Like, I was unstoppable. Like, Levi Lawrence, like, again, great competitor. Like, just wasn't as good as me. Jerome Ardizome, like, near as good as me.
What was your record? What did you finish your record on?
In kickboxing, 14-0, 9 knockouts.
That's incredible.
So, like, I'm retired unbeaten. Multiple world champion. Like, WK.
Did you ever come out of retirement?
Would I? Like, kickboxing, my first love. Like, kickboxing is my first love. My dad keeps saying this, once you finish with the boxing, you'll come back. And I don't think I will.
Why?
I'm trying to open closed doors. They want to open closed doors. I don't know. It's
like the old boxing champs getting back into the boxing ring.
I don't know. Never say never is what I'm going to say. Never say never. I've got a goal that I want to achieve with professional boxing. Yeah, so it's very, very close to achieving that. When I achieve that, I probably won't. No, I won't.
Because you've got a lot going on, which we'll come on to in a sec. So just sticking with like the fight scene, then you transition into boxing. Was that natural? Yeah. Like, were you tempted to throw a few kicks a couple of times, or are you drilled in?
Everybody asked me this question, but a lot of people don't know. Like, I was boxing at high level.
Yeah, so
with boxing, my very first fight at 11 or 12 in boxing. Boy pushes back the ropes and I'm back the ropes. My knees what the fuck are you doing? And some of the boxing people, they knew that I was a kickboxer, but didn't quite know the extremities of how good I was and stuff like that. And my first boxing, I kicked the cunt. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I'd boxed all the way through, and I'd done multiple Scottish, multiple Western districts. When I British, it was like, I fought in European Championships. I never won in the European Championships. I won a medal, actually. But I was alright. I fought actually in the world. Fought with Josh Taylor, not with him, but travelled with him. Charlie Flynn, Joe Ham, like some of the guys that are doing really well for themselves, or they boys are retired now, but like Jason Easton, like I've travelled Aston Brown. There was loads of guys that seen Kieran Smith that were just really about floating. So I boxed really well. So when it came to the scene with me going professional boxing and professional kickboxing, the Russian was always my head, and he beat him. So I switched to professional kickboxing. No switched, I was always kickboxing. But that was the route.
That goal was achieved.
Then it was going to professional boxing to make some money, like essentially. Like, and it was.
You can't do both, can you? Not you can't be active in both fields. Was there any restrictions? Were you going over, or is it pretty clean cut? Were you
clean cut? Good. Like one or the other, like, and that was it. And after the December when I'd fought Jerome Ardizome, I had done a big spiel after it, a big speech after it, saying like, this is me switching to pro boxing. Hopefully, I can follow my journey, and that's it. And my first fight's going to be. I was already set before that fight. I didn't see a manager and that, and I thought it was going to be February in here. So let's get this train running essentially. And then the gyms really took off as well from there. We still had the other gym. Still had Wizzy's Castle. February. We had it in the February, and it was later on that year. It was October, November of 2014 that we had then got essentially Rivals in Wishaw, like the headquarters. and like.
Did you have your eye on that, or was it just like, did it move so quick?
It came up literally, and it was at an auction site.
How does that come up? He's actively looking, or is like,
I'm always looking for some sort of
opportunities.
deals that's coming up, and
car washes and all sorts.
staff times, mate. Like it's like it must be the ADHD in me. That's like, I'm 100% guaranteeing I've got ADHD. I've not been diagnosed with nothing.
I think
that's quite clear. Like, I've not been diagnosed.
There's a
with
running
anything.
theme in this podcast, I think, from a guest perspective.
Everyone's got it. Well, 100% I've got it, right? And there's always just something. What's next? What's next? What can I do next? Like,
so you seen that come up, and was it just natural, like good space?
Amazing space, 12,500 square feet.
You can see the vision.
For the money that it was there. And essentially, like, the business didn't have the money to buy this. At the same time, keep this other one on. So what we'd then done was, we were still getting £1,000 a month for the car wash. But then we'd approached my mum. I said, Mum, we've got this building in Wishaw Main Street. Like, it was cheap in comparison to what
buildings.
Aye.
Do you know why? What was the?
Yep, rateable value. Nobody could afford to pay the rates in the building.
Right.
And us, Rival Trail Martial Arts is set up as a charitable organisation. So essentially, you're releasing something you don't pay rates for, which is amazing. Like, because we're doing transformational things within the community and
you're giving back to
lives.
Yeah.
Like, it's the government essentially want to reward you for doing that.
Aye, so you get a pass with that then.
Essentially a pass with, and it was too cheap not to snap up. I said to my mum, listen, this is here, so rather than pay a landlord rent, we'll pay you the rent if you can essentially buy it. So my mum, she was just shy of being mortgage free in her house, and we knew that growing up, and like, that was my mum's goal, was to be mortgage free and stuff like that. And then we said to her, I buy it. She says, I've not got money. I says, you can take it in your house. She says, I could. She says, you could sell your house. I says, I've not got that much money in my house, man. I need to move back in with you. Like, come on.
Sweet talk done into it.
Long story short, she remortgaged her house and
took the equity.
Took the equity in the house, bought the building. And when she bought the building, it was, now we're on the pathway to making a mother financially free. She is now. She goes to work, but she likes going to work.
Yeah.
Like, she's financially free for investing in us from a very young age. Like, this is like, it's incredible actually. Like, mother, like, it's just incredible. What a such a rewarding feeling to make that happen. Now, don't get me wrong, like, she's her that's fronted it. 100% her that's fronted everything.
Do you think she seen a risk in it at all, or do you think was it like to and throwing?
Like, what if this happened? What if that happened? And COVID, COVID, and sunk. To be fair, we done really well in COVID. To be fair, but like, it sunk. Like, you don't know when the next pandemic's coming up or the next epidemic, or like, you just don't know what's happening around the corner. We've not got this crystal ball.
Aye, but the belief you had in you and Sam and your dad.
Done for it. Let's go for it. And essentially, we then grew. We then scaled for that from 86 members at the ceiling in Wishaw, Western Castle, Wishaw, to now I think we've floated round about the 300, 350 members across what was going on, all the classes and whatnot that we're doing. Like, me and Sam were coaching all the classes, juggling again all the plates. Like, it was me and Sam.
Yeah,
it was in here. Like, and it was the vision to then scale from there. We're transforming lives through martial arts. That's what we do. Like, and that's probably
that vision just become like clearer and clearer. Like,
so much like switched on. Just I think people's lives, man.
Yeah, I think something that is massively overlooked though, from what I see from a business perspective, when I see people open up fighting gyms, is I'm going to train world champions, and I think you guys kind of started that at the start. Like, let these guys train for free. Talk us through that, because it must have, like, I imagine it stings a wee bit when these guys either fall in love with the sport, or they move on to another coach, or they move on to the bigger and better facility. What was all the lessons in that? Oh,
there's like multiple lessons on that. That's all we wanted to do, was have a fighter's gym. Your mains,
world champions,
was a fighter's gym. You come in at your mains, it's spitting sawdust, you're fighting. 4-year-old, you're fighting. In our clubs, you're fighting. It wasn't Do you want to fight?
Aye.
You are fighting. You've
Aye.
been training now for 3 months. You ready for a fight? Been in the gym. Literally, that was us. Fighters don't make money, unfortunately. Like, and that takes time. That takes real time. Everybody wants to have the champions. Again, Rome wasn't built in a day. The fighters aren't going to pay you money. Like, it's like, essentially, let's look at a professional boxer. They're not in the gym paying you your monthly recurring revenue every time. They're coming in for bursts of 12 weeks. Take 3 months off, but lazy bastards in back in 12 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, it's not sustainable from a business point of view. But like, I can't reiterate enough on how much we change people's lives through martial arts.
When did you make that switch? So was it like
when there was a mortgage to pay?
Oh, was it like,
Aye.
right, we're not making this. So back to like your mum and dad saying, here,
Aye.
this business isn't doing well. It's like, what business? This is a fight club. It's not a business. So you had to treat it like a business, and that became, right, what do you love doing? You love fighting. What do you like doing? You like helping people.
And that, we then sat doing weekly meetings with my dad, set some targets and some goals on where these want to be, how much money these want to make, because it was money this, money that, money this. And, how much money do you want to make? All the money. Let's
put a number to it.
Let's stick a number to it, and then we reverse engineer on where you're at here to where you want to be, and let's close the gap and get in there quicker.
So was that one of the most fundamental things you've done? Set targets, review with them weekly. Are you heading towards that?
Weekly. And when we slipped off the ball with the weekly meetings with my dad, the business slipped.
Did it? Right.
Aye. And then it was like, fuck. Like, loads of time my dad was getting pissed off with us for not doing stuff that we said and stuff like that, and vice versa. And the short fuse, it was like, fuck this, I'm away. Like, I'm alright, okay. So man, I'm not getting anything for these meetings. I don't care. I'm going to set my kitchens and make $2,000 in the kitchen. I was day 3 this week. I don't care. Like, it's my time that I'm here. Jesus Christ, like, so naive on.
And stubborn and just like.
Aye, it's because your dad, like I say, that's right.
Family.
Now. I wish I'd sat doing more, like now, like, and talk about this. Like, I'd say to young Gail, it's running airdrie, sit down with your dad every fucking day. Like, your dad, if I had your dad's my dad, like,
network and
like, your dad's been a first generation millionaire. Sit down with him, talk to him. How's the business? How do we scale? What do we do?
It's weird, isn't it? Like, from like, we grow up with our family, and it's like I think it's really beautiful to hear that your mum and dad are like such like inspirational role models in your life. But for most people, when we grow up with a family, it's like, yeah, mum and dad's cool and all that, but it's like, oh, but such and such, I want their life. You're always wishing, like you just said it there, actually, you're like, see, if I had your dad, like, you're thinking about it. It's like weird instinctual human thing that we go to, instead of going, actually, you know what, I've had a great upbringing, like, and great opportunities.
Fantastic upbringing. Like, travelled the world in competitions, travelled the world in, like, great holidays every year. Like, even as though we travelled with boxing and kickboxing and whatnot, we still went on a family holiday. And sometimes we incorporated a family holiday into fighting. Like, mental. We went to Florida, the US Open. Like, and the US Open is a massive competition in Florida, America. Still is to this date. You get big 6-foot trophies, or 5-foot trophies, or sorry, no 6-foot, 5-foot trophies. Sam won it, and we actually, I had 2 options. It was buy a seat in the plane for the thing on the way home, or strip the trophy. And I thought, I'm not buying the plane, strip the trophy, we'll build it back when you win it. That's still in the gym to this day. Like, it's
awesome.
So sometimes we went to family, like the family holidays, Florida, to fight the weekend, and then going to doing the family type stuff. And we went for the IKF. Second time we went to Florida to fight, it was IKF World Championships, which was the first. It was ring sports then, but it was the first time of fighting in a competition and getting a belt home, like, and
WWE stuff and all that.
It was class, man. We've fought for the British and fight nights and that, and the Scottish and the British and Europeans, and getting a belt, but never a competition. It was always a medal, which again, great. I've got every single medal and the trophies and that. And then I fought in the IKF World Championships, and it was a belt. I knocked the guy out and it was like, oh, this is brilliant. I've got a belt. You fucking me, you do. It was class. It was. Like, so that like the life of my mother and father pushing us into doing great things through competition is just wow.
Yeah. So they sacrificed a lot for you guys growing up, and obviously it's paid off now to what you are able to give back. What's it done from you as being a father now? So you had your first kid when you were 24, you said?
Even that, like, even at 24, it was still...
Were you aware of being a dad then? Or was it...
I was in a whirlwind of debt. Like, consumer debt that's just shit. Like, buying things that I don't want to impress people that I don't even like.
Is this like the... Like clothes and...
clothes, motors, shit, like literally shit.
So I wanted to ask you, like, has your friend circle's changed? I know, like, pretty recently as well. What's it like growing up through your 20s then? Because you're this successful guy. Again,
it's like keep up with the Kardashians. It's like I've got this persona of being a world champion and successful. I need to perceive that as like the nice M3 I bought, like ticked out my debt, can't afford to buy it. Like, how I even get a loan for that, I've got no idea.
Are you stressed?
Out my tits.
Really?
Out my tits. It was like, fuck. Oh, you need money to pay for this. What are you doing? I'll never forget this. Right, I had a entrepreneurial part of this journey, if you want. Me and Sam had a unit outside the back of my dad's house where we used to print our t-shirt or clothing or merch and stuff like that. And like, again, to fund more money for the gym wasn't making his money. This was, so it was balancing out what we were doing, like weeding t-shirts and pressing t-shirts, and that was just shit. Like, but like, that's what we done to just get by and see, and like, then it was walking back out the door, and like I was on the phone to I had a house, right? Now I had a lot of equity in the house. And the house was bought for a project originally to me and Sam to do up and sell, but then I had enough to deposit, and Sam didn't have any money for the refurb, so I says, well, fuck you, I'm just
buy a house.
And I did like so. I had a lot of equity in the house. And I'm on the phone to a loan consolidation type company at the time, 22 or 23, no knowing what
anything
I was doing, or I didn't know what mortgage was I was paying for, like, I've no idea. And I'm literally about to sign the deal on the phone, and I'll just put this together, and your mortgage payment will go up £200. Mortgage was only £198 at the time.
Oh, was it?
Like, still, it was 40 grand house. It was pennies. My dad literally took the phone off and hung up the phone. I said, what the fuck are you doing? He says, no, what are you doing? He says, like, then I said to myself,
opened up.
I'm ticked up my tits. Like, it wasn't even, it was just buying shit. Through credit card statements on the cruise, like, snowing jumpers and t-shirts and shoes, and said this credit card that could, as long as I could meet minimum payments, so you're going to be paying for the rest of your life. Let's look at what's coming in, what's going out, to what we can do and consolidate it. Like, never say like there's money going pay for it. Never done that.
That must be quite weird as a young guy that has this dream to make money and then be financially free and all this sort of stuff. And
I know,
but you don't have a concept of what money is growing up, and it's not taught to you. No. So this sounds like the first time that your dad had kind of came in and helped you understand that a wee bit more.
Aye.
Were you oblivious to it before, and that's why you didn't ask?
Absolutely. Right. No, I was embarrassed.
Right.
Oblivious, no, because I knew that I was just credit card £5,000, and this other one £5,000, and this loan that I've just took out at £7,000. I was like, that, you think 17 grand now isn't a lot of money? Well, that's not very fair saying that is a lot of money, right? But in the game of Monopoly that we're all playing, the game of life, like, for me at the time, I was right under.
So see the car wash and stuff like that, did that get spunked on?
Aye.
Useless stuff?
No.
Or did it go towards the house and stuff? Right.
At the time, the car wash was like, so then on top of that, the car wash loan, I'd ever, like, there was so much going on in my life.
Right.
The money that I was getting for that was just going straight to debt, and it was shit. Like, what the fuck? Like,
when's it turn? When's the turning point then?
I got myself out of debt. COVID, maybe. Aye. COVID, essentially. I had all the time in the world. Started reading. Started investing.
Start hearing about this word Bitcoin.
No.
Was that earlier in the day?
I essentially, and I'd bought a daft mining rig, and mining rigs during COVID and that, and started mining Ethereum, and like started reading books, and Rich Dad Poor Dad was the first book that I read, and I was like, oh man, this is amazing.
It opens your eyes, doesn't it? It like fills you with so much fuel and fire. You're like, property's my game now.
Essentially, man, there's someone on property, and like, yeah, essentially, I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to be multi-millionaire. And
6 months.
not really knowing essentially what's going on. Like, so at the time I was like stressed out my things, and no, at that time I was debt free by that point.
What made you choose books? Because I think there's so many lessons in books, but I don't know why. High school, I was like, I don't want to fucking read.
Nah.
I had no interest in reading, and I love doing it now. I love audiobooks. I'm always listening to something.
In the motor, I'm
2 times speed and all that.
No fan
Get
of
through it.
podcasting and stuff like that in the car. That's probably the best thing I've done. Unless I'm in the car with the kids, like they don't want to listen. Alex and Mosey talking shit and fucking my motor. Like, put the tunes on, Dad. Fair enough, okay. So reading books and learning a bit more on how to get your money working for you, rather than
spending it and just
essentially rather than spending it. Now I'm tight on 2 coats of paint.
When did that change then? So when did you kind of let go of the materialistic stuff? Because it's not as if you're not, like, we all have materialistic things we want to achieve, but I think the natural progression as a business owner, something I struggle with is, when do I spend money on me? Because I'm like, I could spend that on me, but I could also buy this for the gym that then does this and then that brings in X.
Then you make more money. It's mad. Like, money doesn't bother me anymore. Essentially, like you're saying, financially free. I wouldn't go as far as financially free.
Do you think it's because your expectations and standards are higher though?
No, I've got a few quid in the bank. Like, I'm no skinning anymore. Like, if I want something, I'll buy it. Very, very rarely do I buy it. Very rarely. Like, I don't buy. It's
because you through that questioning process. It's like, why am I buying this? Or because it's going to look cool on social media. It's like, do I care about that? No, right, cool. I don't want it. I say, well, you're saying that. Like, sometimes it's yes. I still want it.
Sometimes it is. I've always been pumped up about having a Lamborghini, right? Materialistic things. Now, I know that's the biggest liability I will ever own in my life. Absolutely. I know that, right? I had a nice deposit sitting there for it, right? Look, they bought me a couple of flats, right? And working for me, right? And like, then Sam's like that, he says, is that what you want to do? Like, because you think of that, because you've got so many members now. Like, granted that the money that you're buying this car with isn't generated through that. It's generated through what we do marketing wise and what we do consulting business and the other businesses we've got spinning, essentially martial arts money. Now, I've now got 4 locations. I have not took a wage rise in martial arts tuition since starting. Yeah,
you made the other money work for you.
Yep, I have not took an increase.
Why did you decide to do that?
Put me back into business. Open my locations, like have that money working for me essentially, and and the other stuff that we do, like it pays dividends now. I have not taken an increase in salary in 10 years. Like, some of my staff are on more than me payroll than what I pay myself. Yeah, like
I think it's kind of a hard lesson to come to.
Some are on the same. Aye, most are on the same. There's a few that's just over me, like. They've hit the targets that they've worked for, and they're getting
awarded.
Awarded in wages essentially. So we've not done that. Like, so back to that story of that Lamborghini and whatnot, and a nice deposit, and I'd seen one, and I knew I wasn't going to buy it for a long time. I just want it.
This is mine. Achieve the dream that I've had.
I wanted a supercar. Let's get a supercar. I'm buzzing. We joined a mastermind. Best thing we've done in business in our life, right? I was doing, and I've told these guys, I said, here guys, reached this milestone, and this morning I've just put a deposit down for a Lamborghini. The other boys like, oh yes, they're buzzing and that, right? 2 weeks later, I'd failed finance. Fucking raging. that dump had crashed. I'm like, you motherfucker. I said, that's just no funny, man. Like, so, long story short, I then decided what's the next thing? The Lamborghini, an R8, it's like the same engine, just different. So I bought one of them, and like super exciting to drive and shiver shovel type stuff. And then
How long did it last?
who's that for? Like, who is that for? It lasted maybe about a week.
Was that a week?
About a week. Like, I'm going to go with that because it was, you start that V engine, it's just, you put the foot down, it's just stunning. Like, and part of this essentially owns the building that we're in currently. Like, I didn't buy it for a lot of money in the comparison to Lamborghini and stuff like that, right? It was a lot of money, right? But now I'm going to advertise it for sale today because I don't want it anymore.
Aye.
I've had my
scratched
fun.
the itch. Yeah.
Like,
Pat speaks a lot about that sort of stuff, and I think it's hard to hear someone else tell you about it. I think you need to experience it
for
yourself.
Absolutely.
And it's like, cool, am I comfortable now that I've ticked that box? Yes. Coulda, woulda, shoulda put into other stuff. No point thinking like that. It's satisfied what I wanted it to do.
It's a box. Now, I'm not going to lose any money on it, to be fair. Like, 'cause I bought it really good.
You hope so?
No, but right now, like, if you like, we buy any cars, give me what I paid for it.
Oh, is it?
I said, no. So
I'm actually surprised you've no kind of flipped this and made this like hire this out per day for like £400 a day or something like that.
I absolutely can.
I know.
Like, loads of cunts, like, my mates at me were saying, you're sure of that.
Influencer life is mad, mate. You could pump it to them for a couple of quid.
Like, I'll sell that, and by the way, it's bought out, right? So I'll have this big influx of cash coming in very soon.
Yeah.
Like, then what do I do with it? That lets me own a business. That lets me impact more people. Like, through martial arts, through changing lives, through what I'm all about, what the goal is. Like, money aside, like, I just love impacting people.
Yeah, it's your true definition of your why.
Like, and having my kids, like, this is really mad. Like, I just want my kids to be nice kids and nice people. Like, going to school every single morning. Like, every single morning. I'm married to Amelia's mum. I'm not with Sophia's mum anymore. But even that, I still want to be so influential into their lives. It's incredible. Like, they will be set for life. I don't want them ever knowing that they're going to be set for life until they know and understand the business. He's like, I've got them an ISIS account, and it's forever growing. It's brilliant to see.
So being, and this is the kind of question.
Even going to school in the morning, the first thing I say, girls, if we can be anything, what do we be? The first thing I say is, be nice. I say, please do me a favour and tell me what integrity means. To them right off the bat, it means doing the right thing when nobody's watching, Dad. Like that, to me, like that's heartwarming for me. Like, knowing that my kids are going to be nice kids. Now, there might be times when they're not going to be, granted, and I'll just say this stuff to reiterate what I'm saying to them, but I know I'm being influential and being there and taking them through a journey. Like, and that's essentially it. Like, I've asked them, they love kickboxing and they wanted gymnastics. So me and Sam started the gymnastics school.
It's crazy about, like, what your dad and mum have done for you now.
Oh, man.
You and Sam being parents,
like,
and having a family. You're kind of building the next generation of the Allans, if you do it, because it's going to be wild too.
Aye, I know. Like, you're laughing. I know. So we've got, like, we impact so many people through martial arts. Now it's gymnastics. Now potentially dancing. Like, dancing. I'll buy a dance school. Fuck it. Like, my lassies are there. They like dancing. Like, why not? I can help.
It's like your dad's brains and yours. Like,
absolutely.
Seeing the events, going, hey, I could do this.
Amplified, because now we understand marketing, and now we understand what it costs to generate, what it costs to get a student in my door for martial arts. You cannot reiterate the same in gymnastics. I'll get better numbers in gymnastics. Then can I do that with dance? Of course I can. Like, it's as simple of,
once the model's built, it's to an extent copy and paste with a few tweaks.
It's just on that. It's just getting the right staff in place that's on board with you that can generate essentially, and you essentially step back for everything. And that's like the end goal is not only to do nothing and have a team that oversees everything, and I can float in between them all and jump into a class. Yeah. Like,
so we'll come on to that in a wee sec, just on the family side of things though, because I think this is really important. So I know you are certainly now big family man. Like, you do anything for your kids. I remember the first time meeting you, it's like, look, my dream's just to be able to pick my kid's up for school. I want to be there. I don't want to not be involved in these influential years of their life. Being 24, having a kid and kind of being in debt and all this sort of stuff. What was that like to start with? Because you're also competing for title fights. I think this is something that I want to get across in the podcast, because you're running a business on its own. Takes a lot of time, energy and effort, and balancing the prep and sacrifice that needs to go into fighting consistently in boxing and achieving, like, you've got so many goals, and sometimes the goals can contradict the other things that you're doing.
Aye.
How are you balancing relationships and family throughout this point?
With a lot of pressure. Like, a hell of a lot of pressure added on myself to achieve what I want to achieve personally. Like, because when it comes to me competing, everything goes out the window. Now I know, now I've built systems in place now for that never to happen. Employed the staff, the admin team, and we're doing the right things moving forward. But initially, when, at the time, back when, just to feel like when I had the fight lined up, Sam was left to coach all the classes and run the business essentially, and then when he had a fight coming up, I was left to coach all the classes and whatnot and stuff. That's just what we've done. Like, with a great deal of stress. That's the only thing I could probably describe it as a great deal of stress. And I've set a goal. I'm not going to be boxing this point next year. Essentially, I'm not renewing my licence when it comes around. I think it's May of next year. Was it May? I think it is. May is when.
Yeah, because this is your last. Oh, do you think you'll get this next title fight?
Hopefully.
Aye.
Touch wood. I haven't got any plan. I'm fighting for an international title in October the 4th. Should have been for the British, and that was going to be my
final one.
Last fight. The British Sport Control have made a couple of people, made Brandon Dior mandatory to fight a lot of shite, like. Aye. But it's just held me up for what I want to achieve. Like, and I've said, like, that's
you put some mad conditions for him to not accept it.
Aye. Like,
has he ever responded?
No, not personally, but.
Do you think he's seen it?
Oh no, he has. Oh no, he 100% has, because what had happened. Like,
so for the audience listening, tell them, kind of set the scene then.
Set the scene. Like, I want to be a British champion. I want to have the Lord Lonsdale British title belt. The guy that holds it, his name's Marcel Braithwaite. I had fought him February of 2 years past in February for the WBC international title. Now, I had battered him. I had him on the canvas. I had him skating on ice all the whole night, and I didn't get the verdict. Away from home, we celebrated the victory beforehand. He's pure down the dumps, and then he got the win.
What was the points? Do you remember? Like that?
Yes, one had it 97-98 to him, and two had it like 98 to like 93. So the only round that I won was the round that I knocked him down in, which is mental. If you want YouTube, you'll be able to watch the fight. The full fight's on there. Then I've always wanted to win the British title. And
what was that like? No winning something that you're so adamant in that you've won.
Oh, heartbreaking.
Did it crush you?
Like, heartbreaking. Like, it's knowing that I'd put everything into that, and knowing that we thought we'd done enough to win the fight.
Is that the last time you've lost something in the last couple of years?
No. Next time after that, I had fought for the British at bantamweight against Sean McGoldrick. Now, this will kill me forever if I don't achieve this British title. Looking now for what I didn't do on that night, 12 rounds. It was my first 12 rounds in a long time, and I could have done more. And I lost in a majority decision, and that was two judges giving it for him and one scoring it a draw. Like, it was very close. It was nip and tuck. Now, away from home, I'm not going to argue and say I won that fight. Because,
see, that British title fight, is this the one that you want to? Is this the goal? Right, so you had
so we dropped down to super flyweight because we would have felt stronger, dropping down the weight. That's what the massive Braithwaite fight was, super flyweight. And every super flyweight I fought, they've been on the canvas, like every single one. Like, it's only 3 points of difference, but I just feel naturally bigger, better, faster, stronger. Is it the placebo thing? It might be. Like, I don't know, but I just feel better super flyweight. And that fight was a bantamweight, and I only took it because it got offered to me. And that was a goal. Like, and you look at my record, I fight them all. I don't care. Records are for DJs. Like, give me a fight that's going to get me fucking where I want to be and what I want to achieve. End of story. Like, end of story.
So what was different going into that fight then, like that from a training perspective? Because normally you give it your all.
Oh, we did. Oh, we absolutely did.
Was it just being a wee bit heavier? Just throwing you endurance?
No, it's a fuck. No, it's 3 pun. It's nothing. I still struggle to make bantamweight. Just same as I struggle to make super flyweight. Right. Like, it's just how it goes. Right. On the night, I could have pushed more. I wasn't one burnt out and I wasn't one chint by any means, but like it was subconscious. Looking at it now, coulda, woulda, shoulda. It never happened. Like, so I didn't win a British title. But even after it, I was due Chuck Tool on actually. Like that night, I was due like this is.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not dating anymore.
Is that what's been the hardest defeat?
That British title. That's my goal, my dream to get there. Every defeat's a hard defeat to take the chin, but that one's a sick man. Like no one thinking I should be a British champion. I could have pressed the tackle a wee bit more. Would it have been better? Would it have been different? Would I won the title? I don't know. But it is. Like, and Sean McGoldrick, like, I think he was Commonwealth gold medalist or an amateurs, like, good, really, really good lad. Nowhere near out of my league by any means. Like, nowhere near out of my league by any means. Like, so my dream is to win this British title. And after the British title, I'm done. Like, I'm literally done. There's no everything boxing likes about fighting it, winning it, defending it. I'm not wanting to be punched drunk, talking to lampposts at 33-year-old or whatever age I'm going to be. I am not interested in that. I want to watch my kids growing up, my kids growing up. Like, and if I live a better life, my kids growing up. Like, essentially. So it's set the sights on this British title fight. Super flyweight. Again, Marcel Braithwaite. I had 2 fights ago. I'd fought the Radisson. And then after Sean McGoldrick fight, I fought at the Normandy Hotel. Then I fought at the Radisson. The Normandy was just a tune-up fight. Boy was a monkey, like a German. I hate fighting him, but sometimes you need to fight German. A journeyman, for the audience that don't know, is
a journeyman.
A journeyman is someone that they're not paid to lose, but they're on the road. They've got losing records. 1 win with 53 defeats, 10 wins with 64 defeats. They're shite. Like, and that's not what I'm all about. So we fought a gentleman, and then I fought Julius. Forget the cunt's name.
The guy overweight.
Aye, you were at that now. The morning of the weigh in that fight, where normally about a day to make weight, it's a percentage thing. As long as I'm 3% in the morning, the night before, I'll be fine for the weigh in the morning after. I'll wake up after that, should be then at 2% by the time my weights come down. I'll put my jacket on, cut all layers, go walk with the dogs. I'll jump in my hot tub for half an hour and I'll be on weight. But I didn't check the hot tub. Checked the hot tub after my walk and it wasn't warm enough. I'm like, you. And I'm in the hot tub and Sam, my brother, he's always saying to me at these type weight cuts, like, it's no anything other than the presence of somebody that knows what you're going through. They sit in that bath, like somebody sit in that bath or the hot tub or whatever, knowing he can't struggle for me, but knowing that there's that energy that's there, that he knows what I'm going through. And
do you think it's that, or do you think it's the fact that he's also related to you by blood and it's your brother?
Absolutely that. Like, he's absolutely. The very first fight that Sam's missed was my last fight, my whole career, actually. I'll tell you about that in a minute. So at that point, I'm late for the weigh-ins. I'm like, fuck, I'm late. Sam, we need to run a bath up the stair. Like, I've got the weigh-ins on 20 minutes. I'm like, fuck. So he's running me a Scotland hot bath up the stair. We gets to the weight. On the weight now, I have never in my life missed a weight. Ever. Like, my whole career. What
does it mean to you to make weight?
Oh, it's the first win for me. Like, the first win of the fight is make weight. Great. Like, I have agreed to do something I'm going to do, and I'll never miss it. I don't believe in missing weight. So I jumped in the scales. It was 118 pun that fight. I'm like, here we go, 53.5 kilograms, whatever it was, and the boy jumped in the scales. Fucking 7 pun out of the weight. I'm like, what the fucking...
What does that make you in fight class? What would it make?
That was him, like,
So you got super flyweight that you were at.
Super flyweight, you've got bantam, super bantam, and then feather. I think he was just bordering the featherweight.
4 weight classes above.
Aye, essentially. So I'm like, hold that bus, this is bullshit, man.
And this can be quite dangerous from a fighting perspective. So you have the decision if you want to carry out with the fight or not.
Aye.
Do you? Is a decision on you as the fighter,
Aye.
or can the federation step in?
Aye, a bit of both. Aye. Me as a fighter, my coach, my trainer, my manager, it's a mixture of everything. But there was under no circumstances he was in on no fighting. Like, he was just going to get paid. But that was probably one of the most nerve-wracking fights I've ever had.
Really?
Aye. And the only reason for that, now I know what I gain in weight. I'll gain between 10 and 14 pounds.
On your refeed?
Yeah,
Aye.
on my fueling. So if I know I can do that, I also know that he can do that if he's a proper true professional. So if he was 7 pound out of the weight the day before, what's he going to be on the day of?
Yeah.
Like Sam, one fight he put on 21 pound. That's like mental on how much like
the human body can do. Yeah, it's crazy. I was 22 pounds the day after my show, bodybuilding show, and that was just me eating shite. Like but like, I could have been strategic about that for sure.
I was really nervous. Like, what if, like,
what do you do to calm nerves down when you're in this situation?
I don't normally get nerves.
Oh, really? It's this first time? Wow.
First time in a long time that I've been like, oh, Jesus Christ, the butterflies in the tummy, like, Jesus, it's going to be a monster. And probably because he had a winning record, 31 defeats with like, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 defeats and 20 odd knockouts. So he's coming out here.
31 wins with 20 right.
So he's coming out here with a strong winning record with a high knockout percentage. You're thinking, oh yeah, fucker. Like, what if he chins me? He's getting the weight or weight, like, long story short, I knocked him out, so I won the fight, but I was still very nerve-wracking. After that, I'm on the mic, that's Muscle Braithwaite, British title. I'm going to give you £10,000 of my own money, minus your purse, to come here in Scotland to fight. Let's fucking go. That was it. Didn't he quite bite?
Did you get any comments, any messages from anyone down south or anything like that? No?
Nothing. After that, I fought at Ravenscraig again, doing a super flyweight, because to fight the championship weight, you need to be fighting, you need to be registered at the weight.
Right, so you're staying there, because you're swear.
Right, and Ravenscraig, May, again, barred the boy.
Quite a comfortable fight as well.
Trapped him in the second, I think it was, or the third maybe, and then the boy just went running from me. So I don't want any of that. Like, fair enough. Again, coming from Tunisia or South Africa, foreign lad and winning record, strong winning record, 6 rounds points, and again, I reiterate it, listen, let's get it on. No word of a lie, £10,000 of my money, and I just don't care about money. Like, it's no about the money and whatever your purse is going to be. So my manager offered him £12,500 net, right? That's like, so what happens in boxing? There's no money in boxing, right? So there's no money in it at all. Like, the biggest purse I've ever had in boxing is when I fought Sean McGoldrick for the British title, and I get £12,500, right? You think, that's alright for a fight? I said, fuck. Like, and that's my biggest payday, bear in mind, my whole career, the biggest. Right, so like my last fight, the Ravenscraig, I'm very open and honest with this. Like, I worked my cunt in, sell a power of tickets, right, for the Ravenscraig, and I get 1,100 quid, my own.
It's crazy.
What the fuck is that? So going to box for money and fame, quite
different.
You're not getting that shit. So anyway, Marcel Braithwaite, when I had fought Sean McGoldrick for the British, £12,500 I got. Yeah, that's good. But no, it's not good. Your manager gets 25% of the gross, your trainer gets 10%, your trainer's, he worth way more than 10%.
No, I know. You spoke a lot about like the amount
like
of
worth way more than that shit. He gets 10%. Now, because you're then above, I think it's above £10,000, the board then tax you 3%. So it's like 39% comes off my wages, like that. So for that £12,500, I think I walked away with 7,600. I think that's alright if you're training for 12 weeks for a fight and all that. But what people don't understand is you don't train for 12 weeks. You don't fight every 12 weeks. So
that's a good year worth of prep.
It's not that easy, right, unless you're on televised shows and that. So I know there's no money in this sport. And I do know that Marcel Braithwaite then won the British title. So fair crack to him. against Ijaz Ahmed, a fight that I had actually took, and the board knocked me back, which I'm actually got it. They knocked me back because I'd just fought 12 rounds 3 weeks prior, and they said it was a hard 12 rounds fight. Now I'm telling you, it wasn't a hard 12 rounds fight. I could have made it harder. I fucking didn't. So
Is that with Sean?
Aye, Sean McGoldrick. Aye. So he took the fight. That was scored a draw, and because it scored a draw, they then fought again, and he was losing the fight. He was losing the fight in round 9, I think. He had chinned the boy. His first knockout. He got the win for the British title. He was behind in every scorecards, and obviously that's my sight set. So after that, he got off the world title fight. He took some time off for whatever reason. Then he got off the world title fight. So you're going to take that with the board. You don't vacate the British unless you win the world. So he still holds the British. So he was then held up for even longer. He got lost his world title fight. He got spanked. Like, he didn't win a round. He got leather. Saying he's feet in that, but the boy just
different caliber.
The jump for British to world honours is
crazy.
It's massive. Yeah. Aye. And I'm not going to sit here and kid on and go to a world champion. I'm no good enough. And that's no me having any disbelief whatsoever, because I believe my ability so much. But the step up for here to there is 9 day. Like, even if she had ring with Cal Frampton and sparring, like, and the jump up is huge.
Is it?
Huge. It's like, I can't. The aspiration at the start was world champion, this, and
time's
reality,
getting away with you now, and like,
no,
you've got a young family, you've got a lot.
End of story, it's not happening. So all my celebratory go for that last world title fight was 12.5 again. This is his biggest payday. I'm led to believe that was gross. So then similar money's coming off the same. Like, so my manager offered him 12.5 grand net. So my manager paying his fees to the board, to his manager, to his trainer. So net he was getting 12.5 grand, and I was giving him 10 grand.
Just give him
just
to get the fight. To get the fight,
beating, mate. I'm beating, like, and then so my manager offered him that 12.5 grand, and that's when his manager clicked on at the time. Oh, what about Scott? And Scott has said that. That's the first thing that they've clicked. That's 10 grand that I've said, and
so you know they're aware of it.
Oh, of course they're aware about it. Like, somebody's shouting in your face, "Give you 10 grand." Who the fuck's no wanting 10 grand? Give me 10 grand, I'll fight you. Anyway, like, so that was the case, and we put my manager and his manager were on talks. They put a letter to the board on the Wednesday. Now, the board do a circular every month, and they determine sometimes who fights who and all that shit. Then the board has then went for there to, on the Wednesday night, his manager sent an email saying, "We would like to offer Scott Allan for a voluntary defence. We're in talks with Ian Wilson, Scott's manager, to get up in Scotland. On October the 4th, just wanting out some things." And then they've then released the day after the email's been sent that Brandon Diorg's fighting him for British. So it's pissed me the fuck off, really. Like, it really has. It's just then delayed what I'm going to achieve.
I see. You kind of, it's like put it forward another 6 months or so.
Essentially. So I need to.
What happens if he loses it?
If he loses it, then I need to fight Brandon Diorg. It's just a cunt then. I don't want him to lose. I want the British title. For the same. I do. I just want to.
He kind of loses the. I guess a big part of it. Obviously, British title is one thing, but also someone holding it up for that long as well.
One, holding up for that long, and two, he's got the verdict over me where he shouldn't have, and 3, I just want to batter him. Like, that's it.
On redemption, it's like the Russian in your mind again.
The Russian on the back. Like, you know, I have had other losses in boxing, but this one goes with it personal. Like, after the fight night, you shake hands and all that, and like, yeah, as what it is, and that, like, he's just an arrogant wee dick.
Was it?
Like, listen, he shook my hand in that, but he's just arrogant as fuck. Like, and again, is that a persona on him? I don't know. I don't know, but I got under his skin in the press conference before it and that. But so like, that's just what I want. I just want that fight with him for that British title. So I hope he beats this Brandon Diorg boy, and then I hope that he'll give a volunteer in Scotland. Hopefully if he beats, now this fight's to fought before November, so, but then he's now switched managers, which put a spanner in the works for me. Him switching managers, the old manager and trainer is now out the equation that my manager's friendly with. So
it's like relationship building and all that sort of stuff. You're just a name.
Essentially, but I'll sing for the heavens. There's extra dough for you here. Why don't you come up, and if it's going to be that easy for you, have it on.
Why do you think he doesn't?
Oh no, he genuinely thought that he won the fight, but like, if somebody's swinging, saying this, they're going to eat.
I mean, why do you think he's not jumping that? Why do you think he's not reacting?
Obviously, that's the only thing. He doesn't want the smoke. Like,
simple.
What else? What else can it be? Like, you're getting your biggest payday to date, and it's somebody that you've actually beat before. What is somebody?
I know, it's crazy. I hope hopefully it does play out the way that you want it to. Say it doesn't. Where's it going to leave you?
Oh, like unfulfilled in the sport.
Think so?
Yep. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. I'm not renewing my license next year, so it has to happen. Like, and I'm putting out there in the universe that it's going to happen. I'm a great believer in energies and stuff like that. Like mad spiritual loser, if you want. Like, all the energies in the universe are going to make this work, and they're going to make it happen as long as I put in the work for it to happen. So, fight for a title in October. I need to win that initially, and then I need to get this title fight.
Yeah.
For me, like, and it's no, and even on that, I'm winning it solely for me, but massive influence in my children. That through the adversity in your life, if you set your goal on something, don't ever stop till you achieve that goal.
So that's where it's running deeper then. So, because initially where you've kind of, this conversation's led, it came off the back of me saying, what does it, like, what does it mean being a father, and how are you kind of being there for your kids and that? So that's really where it runs down. Absolutely. For you.
Runs right to there. It goes to the kids, essentially, and showing them never give up on something that you want to achieve. Now, I don't mind if, for them, I don't mind if that's a job, or like, they don't need to be entrepreneurial as such.
Just find something they love.
And pursue that, and like, if it's a goal, it's a dream, and I'll be there to their side, supporting them and stuff like that. But everything I'm doing is for my kids' life later on, delaying that gratification rather than like buying something now for wanting it now, like holding that off.
It's instilling the lessons for them.
Aye,
good.
Essentially, never to give up.
Like, the dream and the goal, where, like, from the fighting perspective, is obviously one big thing. A passion that runs deep within you is obviously creating this life for your family, but the other one's changing lives through martial arts. Yeah. What does that mean to you?
Everything. Like, changing lives and having that capability of transforming somebody's life who's struggling mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, into bettering their lives, and up-regulating their energy system that can then benefit their life, benefit their kids' life, their kids' life, essentially. So it's no, even let's just talk about the kids that are training in the martial arts, or even the team trains in martial arts, and what we do in the Rivals brand. It is, like, I'm so passionate about this shit, man, like, and it might come across a wee bit arrogant, like, but I'm so passionate about changing lives through the martial arts, like, having this wee shy, timid kid that's through your doors at 4, 5, 15, 16, 28, whatever age that student is, to seeing that person grow into a more confident, resilient, mentally strong person through martial arts is like, bang. Like, this is.
Well, it's been like a couple of moments that you've seen with some of the kids, or some of the people come through your doors that's really transformed. What stands out to you? Like,
there's so many, countless stories.
What's one that comes to mind that really hits deep?
Jordan McCafferty. Jordan McCafferty now runs overseas sites of our East Kilbride facility. Started off with us in our old New Main's gym, spitting sawdust gym.
Wait, so you must have been quite young then.
Very young. Like, started daft with us. Like, came right through the ranks to now earning a very nice living through the sport and the passion that we've created through that. Like, so if you that, like,
so I know Jordan, obviously, and I think you kind of summarised his story, but like, going for like this maybe shy, timid kid coming through there, but he was also, you'd seen a lot of good in him, and you wanted, you were like itching, like, oh, I want to like give you more money, but I can't because COVID and all this sort of stuff. But then you opened, things just snowballed business wise for you.
That's what happened. When COVID happened, Jordan was employed based on that, right, and he wasn't on the books long enough to be furloughed, and at the time the company didn't have enough money to pay him. Like, so it was like, Jordan, like, come in doing Zoom classes and shit on the internet, and it was just pish. I then decided to scrap that and just say, fuck it, the gym's open. Like, essentially, like, I made it clear that I'll try and no tell anybody that my gym's open, and I'll have one class a week to keep everything in-house with me. Like, I didn't give a fuck about COVID, mate. Like, Jane up, like, I didn't care about it. It was all fabricated. No, on my grand's death certificate is COVID. It wasn't. She had pneumonia, right? But she got COVID in the hotel, in the hospital, and died on.
I've heard countless stories of that, regardless of what it is. Like, so to put a stop on the thing that's going to help people with their social skills or mental skills or confidence is mad.
Fast food places are open, gyms are closed. It was mental.
Insane.
So at the time, we'll go back to Jordan's story. And it wasn't a waste day for him, and I felt bad. We didn't have it, and it was.
Did you have to let go a few people?
Aye. And the team wasn't that big, to be fair. Then it wasn't. But there were loads of wee helpers essentially that would come in and help and do this and do that, and like. And at that point, it was just that was easy to say. Like, they were only getting pay wee bits here and there, but Jordan was like an employee with us, and
felt like one of the team, like the family.
And then that slipped away, obviously, because then Jordan had to earn rightfully so money for his family. So he went and done spray painting and stuff like that, and he got a wee business and that set up. Then East Coast Bride came up again. I'd seen East Coast Bride on the same website that we've seen Mushy on, right? And I was like, it's another building there, and it's a wee bit cheaper than Wishy. Let's go for it, Sam. And our plan was originally at the start, Sam run one facility, I run the next one. At the time, we were refurbing all up, and it was like, it's our success stories, Mark Frame. Essentially, he came in through, he runs our Wisher facility now, struggling mentally. His dad was pals my dad, schooling age, and he said, listen, boys struggling, your boys look after maybe potentially that, and Mark's came in through their doors and then went from struggling mentally, signed up for the membership, loved it, asked us to help out, free of charge, absolutely free of charge, and then COVID hit and we got East Coast Bride and Jordan was ending his thing and it was like, we need more people, man, like, then. And again, the business wasn't scaled and growing as such.
Aye, it's the harsh reality to duplicate our location.
Aye, and new location, didn't know what we were doing and stuff like that. And then Mark had then, at the point, he was a baker at the time, and we offered him a job, essentially labouring in East Coast Bride, ripping the shit out, doing this and overseeing bits and bobs. And now he's like proper full-time coaching with us now. It's like
awesome.
Success story. Like every one of our staffing members has come through our instructing training program that we didn't know we had created, but we had created it, and we've created now jobs for these people. Like Kyle Patterson that runs Rival Gym Airdrie, essentially started off training with us. They owns a gym.
It's insane, isn't it?
Allan, like best pal, trained him for years of my life. Runs a gym. It's like these are success stories on its own. We've already got eyes on Location 5, and we've already got eyes on the coach for Location 5 who currently works for me in Wishaw. It's like this is the dream. But then where does the ceiling stop on that? Like it's a success story that bounces, like, and there so Jordan's went on, done his own thing, and East Coast Bryce came up and we've joined this mastermind again. It's been the best thing we've done, business. And I sat down and one of the boys said, like, so you're opening Location 2. Who's staffing it? Like, what are you doing, mate? He said, I didn't know shit. This is only recent. This is 2 years ago. I don't know, like, he'll do man. Fuck it, it'll work out. Like, more, fuck it. Great, man, fuck it, no great. You listen then, fuck it. Like, he's went for there and he's probably a guy that he can't afford to pay. Time couldn't afford to pay him. Still couldn't afford to pay him. There was all these expenditure going out. All these expenditure. Now, although my mum's took the mortgage essentially out, and the mortgage payments in our house is cheaper than the rent, but that's not how that should be.
No. Like, there's like a standard of money that needs to be sent.
Yeah. So like that there, we pay little rent to compare to what we're paying the old Wizzy's Castle, granted, but that was what was agreed. Per floor in the gym, that's what the rent gets paid to my mum. And like sometimes you're a bit tight like this month. I said, no, that's make it tight, make it want to go and
don't get comfortable.
No, you get comfy, like sitting driving fucking R8 something like that. Fuck that. I might be comfy, I might be struggling. Cunting. Like, and essentially the mastermind boy says about him, I've not the money to pay him. Employ him, you'll make it work.
That what he said, I remember Sam saying that to me about Joe.
Because
we were like, we need to wait till we've got X amount of money coming in, and
right.
and he said, you'll make it work. No, we were talking about a videographer, I think it was, and you get Drew and all that, so the DJs, and he was like, you'll make it work. As soon as they're there, you'll make it work. So was it as simple as that?
Simple as that. Brought Jordan in, contract was here, your wages, till you hit
That's
X, right? I've always not like to tell people his wages or
podcast,
right? But when you hit X, there's going to be an increase in wages per X amount of students added to the business.
So you got like somebody bought in, just got an employee.
As much as I like, and we want to now help your staff with investing for the future. Like essentially, like because East Kilbride, Jordan's now got 2 wee boys, like that. East Kilbride's his baby, and he'll want his 2 wee boys to be. He's Lyle, like that's his firstborn. He just passed his first grade in there, delighted. Like so, he's going to be because he dies and right in the martial arts, right into what he's doing.
Potentially a future champion as well.
Potentially,
that's insane into how generations.
Like and even that, so like he's bought right in, and potentially on us doing the line, it'll be obviously the building's always going to be there, like always, but potentially a buy-in of the business model of right. That's for a percentage of what we're doing. I know he's going to be all in. Like it's just when that comes.
Yeah.
And I want to make that for every day. Essentially absolutely every day. And then so East Kilbride's come up. Been brilliant. And Airdrie's came up. And we were nowhere near ready for Airdrie. Kay was working for us in Wishaw doing this. We were not ready for Airdrie at all. It was like, I sat the Pat in the office in Wishaw and it was like, fuck. I'm thinking, I don't know, like this is fucking.
Were you ready to say no?
Mentally, aye, but I wanted to
deep down, we
like need this. To go, we need to scale, like, where can we go? Like, so I sat down with Pat, and then I sat down with Sam, so I sat down, I've got a proposal. I says, Jimmy's fucked off on the run for the church gym. Without a hesitation, Sam's like, we'll take it. I'm like, okay, that's just put me in a pure...
That energy, the vibration.
Calmer state that fucking let's go, man. Let us fucking go. We've not got any systems in place, but we're going to wing the fuck out this and we're going to have this successful. Bang. Then we'd understood how paid advertising works, understood the systemisation of it, understood what we had to do, and then it seamlessly just went. Yeah.
So you went from like 1 location to 3 locations in the space of 6 months. It was something like that, crazy. And you also had the flooding, the damage. You had the vandalism, the kids broke in, didn't they? So it wasn't as if it was smooth sailing.
No, was it fuck?
So I think that's like the resilience and the mindset is. We all speak about that a lot, but you can see where that comes from the young kid, from the fighting, and you've obviously experienced a lot of that.
And it's like talk about resilience. You need to have resilience. Like there, East Kilbride, like it was in the process of getting done up. Like we got a few grants, right, and done this, and the money that we got for the grants had paid for B bits and balls, the bathrooms, B bits of the kit and funding. Then we didn't have insurance in the building. Very, very silly.
And it flooded.
Very, very silly. One, it flooded, right? Then we bastards broke in and just smashed all brand new bathrooms that were just done. Like toilet sink smashed to bits, mirrors wrecked. So the money that we got for the grant to do this shit is just then like
pissed up the wall.
Then it came back to square one. We've not got money. We've got the vision. What are we doing? Like then it was chipping by. So East Kilbride took way longer than what it should have. This should have been open like 6 months, start, finish, go. We were trying to still juggle Wishaw and day bits and balls, and it was like, oh man, this is now just chuck it in and it's not for us. It was just
he's close to that.
But then we bounce off each other, and it's like, no, this is the vision we've set. This is what we're doing.
Is that you and Sam, or is your dad involved with this at this point?
Essentially, like it's proper. My dad's been influential. Like now we're at a point now, it's like make business decisions and stuff like that together. You don't necessarily need my dad here for anything business wise. He just looks at it and helps us out essentially. And then it came out that then we just opened and just says, you know what, we'll make it work. For whatever else, we'll make it work. We'll struggle, Like, but we'll make it work.
What was the make it work? What did that look like? Was it just get the bare minimum in and start?
Essentially.
Did you start the mastermind at this point?
Yep.
Aye, so that is fueling. So it's fueling that fire with it.
Get into a room being the smallest fish. We're a success story mastermind. Like that's essentially a success story. We joined mastermind. The only reason we joined Mick Rosland, he owns the Combat Academy, a chain of, you can't say commercial martial arts because his martial arts, his kickboxing fighters are all shit hot. It's like, that's no commercial, fuck all. That's blood, sweat and tears. That shit at a premium price it's charging. Like, that's how we joined mastermind here, lads. I think you should be a great fit. At the time we were on 350, 320 members or whatever it was at the time. I think it was 320. And I thought I was a man with you.
I was going to say, like, you always think it is until you go into the room.
Introduce yourself. Start competitive fighter. Chest up, here we go. Like, how you doing, guys? I'm Scott Allan.
Who are you?
I literally, our first mastermind, that was who are you, what do you do, what martial arts do you coach? I'm Scott Allan. I'm rival gym. My brother Sam here. 320 members and fucking doing right good. I'm a pro fighter and I'm the man. Then the next it was a guy that was so humble. Something I look up to now. Like, hi guys, I'm Ivan Rose. Run fire martial arts Liverpool. I've got 10 locations. I stopped and interrupted, probably ADHD type shit. I said, whoa, fucking hell.
10?
I am so sorry. Like, let me apologise because I didn't realise I was a tiny fish in this fucking pond. And everybody else, it was like next, it was great. And we were the only one in the room with one location. It was like, fuck, we are the smallest fish in this pond. Wow. Like, wow.
Yeah, because I would imagine your ceiling was like here. And what that allowed you to do is say, well, ceiling's
there's no ceiling
much
anymore for me.
Aye.
There's no ceiling for me anymore. Like, where is the ceiling? Like, it's the moon. Is it higher than the moon? Let's fucking go. Like, that was it.
What's the big dream with Rivals just now?
10 locations in the UK.
10.
Scotland, preferably Scotland, then go international.
Good.
We're looking at Dubai or Thailand. Or
Why do you think then there's maybe, because you get all these hardships through building or moving into a new location, you get a really good model you can replicate, but then Lark Hall, for example, happens. What was that like?
Lark Hall?
Maybe tell the story for the folks that don't know. So you
were
were on 3 locations. You got Livingston?
Livingston
Was ready
Lark
to
Hall
go.
Was first.
Oh, so it was Lark Hall first. And then you're ready to...
And Livingston. So with the staff in place and infrastructure ready to go.
So you're about to get 50% of your target.
Yep.
In the space of a
3
year process.
Lark Hall, we had it nailed. Took over a council building, transfer the assets, short-term lease for a year. Then we were buying Lark Hall outright, because like I like the thing of owning where I'm
for sure
working. Like, probably wrong to think of that, but I really want to own the buildings that I'm renting.
It gives you more control. It's really what it comes down to, isn't
it? So, Livingston, we signed the short-term lease for a year. Started the works, starting building, we're looking to competitions, big things, like really big things, and then purposely done, like pointless sugarcoating shit here, purposely done by grown ass men. We've got a rough idea who it was, right? But it's,
you mean Lark Hall? You said Dunstan. So Lark Hall was ready to get the renovation started.
No, it didn't really need much. It needed new bathrooms.
That was a good shell, wasn't it?
Aye, bathrooms.
Good hall.
Like a paint, ready to go. We had that transformation planned 3 months, and just ordered kit. Cunts broke into the building. Now, if you jump on my Instagram, you'll be able to see it went up like a bomb.
It was like somebody had genuinely bombed it.
Oh no, that's what it was. It was done on purpose so that we couldn't get it, and it was what we're doing with Lark Hall, which was brilliant. We fit the parks as well, like, so it wasn't, we weren't just doing the martial arts now, we were being a multi-facility
community driven.
Like, we were going to add a mezzanine flaring in. There was a dance school that was failing in the Lark Hall community. We were taking on that and giving them a home for free, helping them with the business, land at scale. Like, we're going to have a second flare on. We were putting on free community football, like there's Astro Grasses Park, so we were putting that on free for Our plan was to get
businesses bought into it,
buying in £500 a year. Isn't a lot of money, essentially, to sponsor a billboard that will let us put it on free for the kids in the community. Like, who fucking does that?
Aye, and this came down to, do you think, jealousy?
Absolutely. So I think can
so
be.
Sad, man.
So I think it can be. Like, now, it is like so short-sighted, and the cake's big enough for everybody to get a piece.
Aye, I always say that about personal training. It's like, oh, you can't, there's too many personal trainers. I'm like, and what? Like, there's also so many people out of shape, or so many people struggling physically, whether their strength, mobility, whatever it is. There's enough cake for us all.
And there's different programs, different prices, different people that pay for different things. Like, buy into what other people want.
What was that like when you got the news of that?
I got a phone call that the boys after school, and my mate, who's a firefighter, who he's a bit entrepreneurial himself, actually, he's got a bounce castle business and that as well. So we planned on having this Lark Hall out. Our open day's got to be all bounce castle hired out, and a big party at Lark Hall Gala Day. That's when we're opening. That's past in June there. And he said, I think you might need to go up to the gym. I says, I'm not working, but early hours in the morning, I don't know if it was yours or the gymnastics club that's down the hill, one's waiting fire. I don't know. Says in Hershey's Hill Road. Is that where your gym is? I said, aye. I'm like, fuck, I'm in Overland, I'm going up to Lark Hall, it's no far. Phone Sam straight away. I say, Sam's, I can't phone you about the gym. She says, no, how? Apparently it's in fire. He says, no way. Liam just phoned me, aye. I'm up there and phone my dad. My dad's shot up and all, like, and it's fucked. Like,
heartbroken?
Aye, it was like, holy fuck. Like,
what did you think initially?
Oh,
I left the heater on, have I done, or did you know it was?
Bastards.
Aye.
Like, first thing, you cunts.
How hard is it not to?
I was duty.
I was going to say, take action.
Yep, was duty. Boy was supposed to cameras. The cameras pinpointed on what it was, right? And when they pinpointed what it was, I'd seen a van. I'd went up to where I thought it was coming from, and it looked like the same van.
Aye.
I went to do the girl, and I was going to get and wreck the place.
Aye.
I phoned Sam, says, I need to fucking wreck it. She says, what for? She's like, what for? They've got essentially one location. If in tight, you've got multiple. This replicates it's not something that we're wanting to deal with. We'll just do them again. We'll just go again. Like, it's just, don't stress. You can't, just as let's fucking go, man. I didn't, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful Sam was the
calm one now. He was the mad one growing up, now that flipped him over.
That's what it is. Like, it's spilt milk. I'm hoping that we can get back into the same place. The council potentially is looking at rebuilding it. Maybe not. I don't know. If it doesn't, if it's not meant to be, see that at the start, it's not meant to be. I'll open another one and I'll get something organised. That's just, we'll move forward and we'll drive.
Yeah.
That's it.
Nah, I think, again, we talk about resilience a lot, and it can be very easy to react. And I think Sam's talked to you at a good thing, because you've got a lot of good things going for you. And that one bad thing can lead to...
Aye.
Especially being a fighter, that must be hard. Like, nights out, whatever it is. Like, a lot can... even if we even spoke about like injuries or anything like that, things that from brain scans and the sport that you're choosing, you're putting a lot at risk, and it's just that part that there is like unnecessary risk for sure.
It is. Like, so if we're doing that, it's just ridiculous. Auditions up and running, and it's like we're flying. Like, we are flying life. I'm like, wreck that, like in the heat of the moment, doing something silly that will jeopardise my family's life, essentially, because if I'd done something silly that day,
repercussions off the back of
that, I may have been in the jail. I'm leaving everything with him. What are you doing? Have a word with yourself. And I was like, Jesus Christ, any bother.
So many people need that that check though.
That check, listen.
And I think you speak about a lot of this in the martial arts, like sometimes an ego can come in, sometimes there can be fights and all that can erupt because there's a lot of testosterone in there, but you're ultimately like, here, we're not here to like have any bad blood. It's about bettering ourselves as people.
I'm big on that. Like, I very, very clearly, like, in marketing essentially is like, if you've got an ego, do me a favour and don't come into the gym. Like, we always on the membership consultations and our membership, we literally told everybody what we're doing, how everyone's going to work on that. But if you've got an ego, like, you're not welcome.
Aye, it's not the right fit.
I don't want you in my facility. Don't want you with the Rivals brand on your chest, on your back, if you're a cunt.
Aye, because you're representing
me.
Aye, you.
Right, it doesn't matter who. We are the head of the company. Yes, there will be times we'll spiral out into great things for great people, but at the end of the day, it's my name, it's my brand. It's not happening on my watch. So.
Well, I could sit and chat with you for an hour, 2 hours, but I don't want to keep you too much.
Christ.
One question I'll finish on though, like you're a very fulfilled person just now. Obviously, have these goals of what you're pushing forward for as well. What gives you the most fulfillment just now, or what's some of the things that give you
my children,
joy and happiness?
My children, spending time with my children, being present, just being free, no clock there. I need to watch. Like, if I go and pick my kids up for school, I pick my kids up for school. Like, doing that, if I go for lunch with my wife, I can do that. Like, just being free. What fulfills me is transforming lives through martial arts and seeing people grow and watch them drive into better people without an ego. It's just incredible. That's just what I'm about and what I always will be about moving forward in my life.
Are you scared of anything?
Nah.
And that frightens you?
Nah. Like, nah. I've got to die at some point, and I know that, and I'm okay with that. As long as what I've built in my life, I've left. Like, I'd love to build generational wealth for my kids' kid. I want to be remembered in my generation of families who built something special. I don't want it to be just my kids and then die after that, or my kids' kids and then die after that.
Yeah,
I've been on for future stuff. Like, so when death comes, like, I'm okay with that. I have been very fulfilled, and it's not going to come for a very long time. Like,
does it frighten you, like being in the boxing space then with that? No.
If that's how,
you see some horror stories and stuff like that.
If that's how, like, I'm supposed to be to go out in this universe, then that's how it's supposed to be. Like, a lot of people are scared of death. It comes to us all. Like, so it's just acceptance of what's going to happen, is going to happen. And my energy, my frequency, like, my soul will live forever. I'm a believer in your souls live multiple lives and stuff like that. But again, that's a whole other podcast completely. I guess fucking going down a rabbit hole essentially. But like, I'm a big believer in energies, and my energy's infectious. Like, whether you like it or not, you cut about with me for so long, I'll actually get you to believe in yourself so much that you can do anything that you want to do. And I'm living proof of essentially what I want to be. I just done it and smashed it. And what's fucking next?
There was a goal and
aye,
didn't get up
smash
with it.
The wall. Aye,
love
absolutely.
I love it. Going to inspire so many other people, I'm sure. And
I hope so.
We'll need to get you on part 2 to actually talk about what you've done. But I appreciate you coming on, man. Cheers.
Time, brilliant.